grand marshal of today's race, and the gentleman who proclaimed, "Gentlemen, start your engines," now taking a lap around the racetrack, and we are less than 5 minutes away from the green flag of this 7th race of the 1995 NASCAR Winston Cup season. Here is the starting lineup for today's race. On the pole, Jeff Gordon, car number 24, the DuPont Chevrolet 756, I should say. 3 wins, 4 poles this season. His average start, 2.0. On the outside of the front row will be Brett Bodine from Chemung, New York, in car number 11, running for Junior Johnson, whose shops are just down the road. Starting in 3rd position, inside of row number 2, will be Derek Cope, 118.353, and then Bobby Hamilton will start on the outside on the 2nd row.
Bobby Hamilton told me this morning he didn't want to qualify any better than 4th. He wanted to start where he ended last week and go to the front from there.
Okay, in the 4th row, we see Mark Martin and Joe Nemechek. Nemechek had a good qualifying run after having a spin out in his attempt.
Ted Musgrave and Morgan Shepherd will make up row number 5. In the 6th row, it'll be Rusty Wallace and Ricky Rudd.
And back there we find Jeff Burton in row 7 alongside Rick Mast, identical times.
And in row 8, it'll be Steve Grissom and Bill Elliott.
And Elliott's crew chief had some problems this morning. Jerry Foster will report on that a little later as we see Schrader and Warburton back in row 9.
Dick Trickle and Sterling Marlin compose the 19th and 20th starting positions, row number 10. In the 11th row, it'll be Ricky Craven alongside Darrell Waltrip going for win number 11 here at this facility.
Well, he goes for numbers, so he's back in the 11th row. He must think that's an omen, Ned.
And his son Kyle Petty, Kyle Petty will start back there in row 12, not Darrell's son, of course not. And we see Todd Bodine back there along with Mike Wallace in row 13.
Jeff Bodine and Robert Presley back in row number 14. The 15th row will be Jimmy Spencer and Terry Labonte, the defending champion of this race. Randy LaJoie and Greg Sachs make up row number 16. And then we get back to the provisional starters.
And we talked about at the top of the show some of those that didn't make the field. There's Dale Jarrett, had to take a provisional. So did John Andretti. John Andretti normally qualifies well, but just couldn't quite get it hooked up here. And Bobby Labonte and the Joe Gibbs car, and Dave Marcus also with a provisional.
The engines are warming on pit road. We will be back for more pre-race and possibly the beginning of the First Union 400 after this.
Now, an oil made just for your hard-working engine. 4x4 from Quaker State. Off-roading, extreme temperatures, towing and hauling. They all make your light truck or 4x4 work extra hard and could shorten its life. Why settle for a conventional car oil? Get 4x4 from Quaker State.
Now, an independent test proved 4x4 superior to leading conventional car oils in protecting against deposits that can shorten engine life.
I love my new hot rod. Those flames scare the other guys. 5,000 horsepower helps too. And a fat bankroll. You know, we've been running Autolite spark plugs forever, but I could wring more money out of someone else. Money's good. My crew burns it. So I tell the guys we're going to run a different plug. They say no. I say I'm the boss. They say Autolite keeps this monster lit. So I tell them I was just kidding.
You know, at AutoZone, we know our customers work just as hard as we do. So we're open when they need us, at night and on Sundays. And since 2 million folks each week count on AutoZone for what they need when they need it, we're not about to let them down. That's why we carry so many parts and why we price them so low every day. You see, selling top quality parts at low prices every day is how we make a living. But helping customers, well, that's how we make friends.
We have not taken the green flag, and already problems for Dick Trickle's Quality Care Ford Thunderbird. The car would not fire on pit road. They thought it might be a battery cable. They have changed the cable, and it was not that. Now they're trying to change an ignition wiring harness inside the car, and the car is yet to fire as the field is now rolling out of turn 4 behind the Pontiac pace car. Bob?
There is a lap to go, a couple of laps to go, I guess, before the green flag comes out. Let's check in on the radio with Kyle Petty, BP.
Kyle Petty, this is Benny Parsons of ESPN. You got me?
Yes, sir. Get you loud and clear.
All right, what do you think's going to happen here today? Give us about 10 seconds.
Well, it's a crapshoot the way pit road is, you know. You got to be up front close to the pace car when you pit to make good time and not get trapped. You're going to see 50, 60 lap dashes on tires. Somebody that's got a car that knows they can't win a race are going to stay out and gamble for a caution. They could easily have a lap or 2 laps on the field. Big crapshoot.
All right, folks, there you saw Barry Dodson talking to the radio network here at the Speedway.
Ted Musgrave will also carry one of our in-car cameras.
Ted Musgrave, this is Benny Parsons of ESPN. You read me?
Yeah, Benny, lead your room. Clear, man. Hey, what's for supper tonight?
I don't know. Let's see how hard you make us work.
Okay, maybe real good. You and I will go out to dinner somewhere, all right?
Sound like a deal. Good luck to you.
Benny.
There's an offer that...
Ted, you got all your fans on, bud?
Jack, we're all set.
Okay, Jerry, what's the update on Trickle?
Apparently there is no juice getting to the main kill switch, the on-off switch in the back of the car that NASCAR puts on all these cars for safety so you can kill all the power. There's an accident to get into the car without the risk of fire. There is no juice getting up to that main switch, so they have taken the left rear tire off and are going to open the battery compartment. They will miss the start of the First Union 400, Bob.
Indeed they do, because the field comes off corner number 4 and gets set for a start. Let's see if we get the green flag. And here we go. The green flag is out. First Union 400 underway.
Well, that has to be the second field in the world sitting on pit road with the green flag.
Looks like Brett Bodine has the slight advantage off the third corner at least. Let's see how they cross the line.
And Brett Bodine did lead the first lap, and he has the lead down the backstretch.
And that is the first race lap that he has led in 1995. Jeff Gordon has never led a lap at North Wilkesboro.
And the 15th car of Dick Trickle is back on the racetrack. There he is, going in turn 3. Jerry Punch?
They took the cover off the battery and found out their worst nightmare. The battery cable was not attached to the battery. They just slapped it on the battery. The car fired up, but unfortunately, he missed the green.
Side-by-side racing back for about 7th position. Joe Nemechek to the inside and Bobby Hamilton to the outside, but now Hamilton falls in single file ahead of Ted Musgrave, Rusty Wallace, and Rick Mast.
That was the 43 Bobby Hamilton. That was his concern, that he would drop back at the very beginning of the race, and it happened.
Now, for you Dick Trickle fans, he's being shown only 1 lap down, so it's not as disastrous as it could have been.
Watching from Ted Musgrave now, Sterling Marlin's in-car camera as Bill Elliott is right beside him and Ward Burton up ahead.
As we see, that's the Sterling Marlin car going underneath Elliott. And Earnhardt trying to take over that 3rd spot, but Cope says,
To the inside in turn number 3 and takes the position, but battling back on the outside is Derek Cope, and Lake Speed is right there also, but now Earnhardt gets the 3rd position and sets his sights on this duo, Jeff Gordon and the leader of the race, Brett Bodine. Here are the Burke brothers, Ward inside, Jeff outside, into 3.
Chevrolet being driven by Ward and the Ford being driven by Jeff.
Sterling Marlin watching on it, and Jeff Gordon trying to take the lead away from Brett Bodine.
Brett gives him room. He's got the opening at the bottom of the racetrack, and let's see who leads this lap. Bodine by a half a car length.
But I think Gordon has the preferred line, Bob. Normally on these short tracks, that inside is the best place to be, and I expect he'll get him maybe going into turn 3, and he does.
So now Jeff Gordon has the lead.
Now, if he makes it back to the line, he will have led his first lap here at North Wilkesboro.
And 5 points. There it is. Bill Elliott now to the outside of Todd Bodine.
Bill Elliott needs to get to the inside, but there's no place to go on the inside. There's not a spot. Meanwhile, he's just riding along trying to find that spot. He battles with the Bodine brothers, Todd in the 75, Jeff in the number 7. And there you see Terry Labonte back at the very top of that screen, the Kellogg Chevrolet. He won this race last year, but qualified about the 30th spot.
And Jeff Bodine, car 7, won the race last fall here at this track and beat everybody by a lap or more.
And he rubbed Bill Elliott just a little bit going into turn 1 that time and was able to get on the inside of it and make the pass.
And you'll see that Earnhardt is closed up on the back of Brett Bodine, goes right up on the back bumper.
See if he makes a bid for the position into turn 1. He's looking outside. I don't think so.
He might want to make Brett Bodine think he's looking outside.
Yeah.
Looks like those cars are running 30 miles an hour on that shot. Trust me when I tell you, folks, that they're running much, much faster than that.
Here's Steve Grissom and Ken Schrader. That's for 13th and 14th.
Morgan Shepherd leading that duo. Morgan is in 15th spot, is being shown in 15th, but 13th, I'm sorry.
There is Jeff Gordon. Not only is the first time that he has left at North Wilkesboro and he picked up the 5, but of course that continues his streak. He has now led every race so far this year. The battle is for second spot. Bodine and Earnhardt. And now here comes Bobby Labonte along with Dale Jarrett to the inside of Robert Presley.
They're battling for a 31st position back there.
Well, you can see that there are races all around the racetrack. 30th position is side by side. Oh! And contact between the 28 and the 37.
And there's damage to the front end of John Andretti's car. No caution, but Andretti has damage on the left front of his car. We continue to watch up front. Earnhardt still unable to take away that second position.
Hey, we'll take a look again. Dale Jarrett was on the outside of Robert Presley, and Presley, I don't know if he didn't know he was out there, and Jarrett had to back off, and John Andretti had a run coming off the turn, and when Jarrett got sideways, he bumped him.
Now we see Earnhardt going to the inside of Brett Bodine and picking up second position, and here is Ken Schrader passing the 29 of Steve Grissom.
And Grissom's starting to get just a little bit loose as he exited turn 4. We're almost 20 laps into this race. We're going to be seeing more and more of that as the race wears on.
Then I think there was also damage, I know there's damage to the left rear of the 28 car, but I don't see any smoke, so apparently not rubbing on a tire.
There's some sheet metal damage there, but maybe no harm.
Grissom to the inside now of Morgan Shepherd.
Grissom in 29, the black and yellow car, the Meineke muffler. Morgan Shepherd, red and white 21, Sitco.
Looks like a little bit of contact between Ward Burton and Morgan Shepherd.
They definitely got together, but they continue on. No major problems there.
And Jeff Burton in the 8, the Rebestos car, trying to follow his brother. Well, actually trying to pass his brother. There's Ricky Craven, the 41 car, the green and white car. Michael Waltrip, the yellow 30. And we see Kyle Petty back there in the 42.
This is out the back of Sterling Marlin's car, looking back on Craven and Michael Waltrip. Now Waltrip moves up beside Craven in the first turn.
With Michael there, he's got that 41
John Kernan has a report on the Pennzoil number 30, driven by Michael Waltrip.
Bobby, it'll be tough for Michael to relay what is going on with his car and the chassis. This race goes on with his crew. That's because he can only hear them on the radio. When he goes to punch his button to talk back to them, they cannot hear him. So they're having a radio problem. Probably have to work out hand signals so Michael can tell them whether the car is tight or loose.
We are hearing, however, conversation between Kyle Petty and his crew.
We're watching the electronics as he accelerates down the straightaway up to 119 miles an hour. And very, very close up in turns 3 and 4.
There.
You heard his spotter tell Kyle that he was clear, meaning that he had completed the pass of Craven and he could get back in line.
35 cars still in the lead lap. Only Dick Trickle is 1 lap down as a result of not being able to take the green flag.
Now Kyle to the inside of Michael Waltrip, picking up another position as Darrell Waltrip moves alongside his brother. And there again, you again hear that the spotter told Kyle he was clear of Michael. So we'll take a break and be back with more of our live coverage here at North Wilkesboro. 27 laps have been completed. It's Jeff Gordon leading Dale Earnhardt and Brett Bodine. Stay with us.
If you're driving with worn shocks or struts, it could affect your ability to make sudden stops. At times like this, even a small distance can make a big difference. With worn-out shocks, your tires could lose contact with the road. But with new Monroe shocks, your tires hold the road, providing extra control, which could improve your braking. Make the road a safer place with Monroe. Get Monroe Gasmatic Plus and Gas Magnum Plus shocks and struts at a retailer near you.
At Chevrolet, we're not just out here winning. We're testing suspensions, developing more powerful engines, and learning more about aerodynamics. Because if you want to bring more race-winning technology to the street than any other car company, sometimes you have to work weekends. That's genuine Chevrolet.
For entertainment on a grand scale, the MGM Grand Hotel Casino and Theme Park more than lives up to its name. Here, the spectacular is an everyday event, and every event is a spectacle. George Foreman defends his title against Axel Schultz, April 22nd in the Grand Garden, the ultimate heavyweight bout in the ultimate boxing venue. Only at the MGM Grand. The Lion of Las Vegas. Proud to take.
Overhead shots coming from the Family Channel blimp high above North Wilkesboro, North Carolina Speedway in the First Union 400 on its 95 tour, helping to spread the word about Family Channel's quality, value-based programming and original movies. Glad to have them with us again here in the Winston Cup circuit.
And that yellow thing that you see waving in the breeze is one of the cameras that the crews are
taping the pit stops with.
Taping their pit stops with, so they can go back and look at them and see what went wrong. And there we see Jeff Gordon. Nothing going wrong with that DuPont car.
Again. Here are the finishes that he has experienced this year. He is 4th in points and would be much higher were it not for those poor finishes compared with his wins. He's 22nd at Daytona, 36th at Richmond, 32nd at Darlington. The others, he's won.
I don't think we're going to point out the others.
Well, they just put a lap on the 34th place car, Randy LaJoy.
And Dr. Punch has a report from the pits as Kyle Petty goes to the inside of Rick Mast. Doc?
And as you watch that move by Bobby Hamilton sliding inside of the one car, we'll mention the tire concern during the pre-race that the tires may go 40 or 50 laps. What some of the drivers are being told is the cars are getting looser. We are told Earnhardt's car now getting a little bit looser, as so is Gordon, surprisingly. But we are being told that about 32 laps was halfway on a set of tires. So expect the leaders to come in around lap 62 to 65 for the first green flag stop for Ford tires. Bob.
All right, we see a flat summary for you now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear a groan during the broadcast, it's because my right shoulder has been severely injured by Benny bopping me one when I miscalled the 43.
Once more, 43 is Hamilton. Bobby Hamilton. Got it? Ouch. Okay.
Stop that.
I got to be a referee here, too, huh?
Ned, help us out here.
What's going
Stand
on
between us.
Musgrave trying to take over Ricky Rowe. And Ward Burton.
Ward Burton sliding down the backstretch. Didn't hit it.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Boy, there'll be a lot of drivers glad to see this caution because Bill Elliott, Robert Presley, Morgan Shepherd were just about to go a lap down.
And I tell you what, how many cars, every car but Dick Trickle and Randy LaJoy will probably pit. Here we see Ward Burton coming in, and we see the damage to the right front. So a little bit of touch on the right front has knocked the tire in. Watch as the 31 car comes off, and he touches Rick Mast, and look at the job. And that's the new entrance to pit road that Ward spins down through there. He just puts it in gear and drives on the pit road.
Looks like Sterling Marlin got a little bit of contact from Kyle Petty, too, during that incident. Now we see the pit stops being made. Here they come down pit road, the long pit road with Jeff Gordon leading them.
And I don't know about this. The pace car.
The pace car.
They passed the pace car down pit road. I mean, the pace car was on the racetrack. They went down pit road. John Kernan.
Mid Sterling Marlin spit the crew of Ford tire change the car a little bit tight, so they'll take 2 rounds of bite out of the car. They're already working on the left side. There goes the chassis adjustment in that left rear. Let's go down to Jeff Gordon's pit. Jerry Martin, Sterling leads. They have already put right side tires, left side going out. Here's Gordon going out, and he comes together almost with Morgan Shepherd and Jens on the brakes, but Gordon and Shepherd do not have contact as Gordon manages to exit pit road, and they all slam down the pits. I might mention Benny Parsons, you saw the lead cars pass the pace car a moment ago coming in the driver's meeting. The driver said, look, if we come down pit road at 35 miles an hour, we're actually going to pass the pace car because pit road has a shorter radius. And NASCAR said, that's okay. If you pass it, as long as you're going 35 miles an hour, there will be no penalty.
Thank you very much, Dr. Punch.
That makes sense. It's a lot shorter around the racetrack down in there. Now, the near collision. Watch this.
21 is coming in, and Jeff Gordon is leading. And look at that, almost. And Earnhardt leaves and takes over the lead from Jeff Gordon.
That's the way they will line up when we go back to green. There is Morgan Shepherd, who has completed the service on his car. We'll be right back.
Hey, you know my crew spends hundreds of hours building those 5,000 horsepower motors. I can explode one in 5 seconds. And when that happens, nobody eats. That's why my guys won't run anything but Fram fillers. You know, Fram gets the nasty stuff out of the oil, so I can go to the other end with my candles lit. And you know, that's in about 5 seconds, nearly 300 miles an hour. You can look at these guys and see they eat pretty near every day.
Man has always been fascinated with speed. But winning is more than a flash of speed. It's a measure of skill. A test of guts. That's why the true spirit of NASCAR lies not in the machine, but in the man who drives it. We're proud to be part of this great sport. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR.
What, is this your idea of excitement? Let me tell you about exciting, okay? Driving around a racetrack at over 200 miles an hour, that's exciting. These are just flakes.
Well, what do you think?
These are really good. They're crispy, too.
Really?
Yeah, they're mighty good even with nothing on them. What are they?
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah. Kellogg's Corn Flakes? How could I be so dumb?
You got 500 miles to think about it.
Kellogg's is proud to sponsor NASCAR champion Terry Labonte.
Why do I think the Whopper just beat the Wendy single in a taste test? In my opinion, it's because the Whopper's round and the Wendy single is square. Get it? Square burgers, pointy corners. Of course, most people would tell you they prefer the Whopper because it's flame-broiled over open flames, not fried like the Wendy single. But what gets me are those pointy corners hanging out of a round bun. Where do you put the condiments? These are big problems.
The burger that beat Wendy's single, the Whopper Value Meal for $2.99 at Burger King.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro. We timed it just right. The green flag comes out on lap number 46, restarting our first Union 400 after a caution caused by Ward Burton's slide down the backstretch.
Mike Wallace in the 90 car, the Heilig Myers car, a lap down.
The leader is Dale Earnhardt. Jeff Gordon. Brett Bodine is third, and Rusty Wallace is on the move. He is up to fourth position already and right on the back bumper of Brett.
There we see his brother, Mike Wallace, on the inside as he closes in, as you said, right on the back bumper of the 11 car. Rusty started 11th, is now fourth. And Mark Martin, one of the cars that all the guys touted in the garage area as being one of the best cars here this afternoon.
Martin's in car. He's trying to get around that lap car of Wallace. Bobby Labonte, Jimmy Spencer racing together.
Bobby Labonte just made the pass on Jimmy Spencer.
Now he closes up on the back bumper of his brother, Terry Labonte, in the 5 car.
Bill Elliott lost a lap in the pits during this round of pit stops as we watched the Labonte brothers race. Bobby Labonte has now moved up to 23rd position.
He broke his shoulder just about 3 weeks ago at the Darlington race, so
I can sympathize with that.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you so hard a while ago. But they feel like he will be okay to run the entire 400 laps here at North Wilkesboro today.
Provisional starters. He began the race back in 35th position, Bobby Labonte. Dale Earnhardt, by the way, has now led 22 races here at North Wilkesboro. This is his 33rd. He has won at this racetrack 4 times, this race 3 times, and he has won the fall race once.
Well, I talked about the 6 car running well. Yeah, they also mentioned the 3 and the 24 in the same breath as running very, very well, and that's pretty obvious.
Dr. Jerry Punch has an update on tire wear. Jerry?
Bob, the pre-race concerns about tire wear are reality. Now, let me show you the right rear tire off Jeff Gordon's car here, and Gordon wasn't running that hard. The wear indicators here are worn away. Now, this tire begins today with 3.5 30 seconds of rubber. Take a look. In 42 laps, it has a 1.5 30 seconds of rubber left. And folks, that's not much. This tire is worn out in less than 45 laps. Let's go up pit road to John Kernan. Well, Jerry, the news for Sterling Marlin is just the opposite over here as we look at his right rear tire. 3.25 30 seconds they've measured. Sterling getting very, very good tire wear, and that's what he told me this morning that they had concentrated on.
And that could be the story of the race before it's all over.
And they're talking about 3 30 seconds to 1.5 30 seconds. That's 3 30 seconds of an inch. 3 30 seconds of an inch. 2 30 seconds is 1/16th of an inch. And a 16th is like 60,000. So, I mean, these tires are very little tread on them.
And we might mention that the reason they do wear out so much here on this racetrack is because it's very abrasive. This track is very abrasive, like Darlington used to be before they repaved it. There's some telemetry here on Kyle Petty's car. They're doing some dancing out there, aren't they?
Looked like the 4 car was getting a little loose as he came off the corner. Let's see how many RPMs. I couldn't tell how many RPMs that Kyle turned. But we see the slowest speed he gets down to in the corner is about 73 miles an hour. That's a
slow up there on the bottom twos.
They said the 15 is slow.
Get him to move over.
That's the spotter telling me 15 is slow on the bottom, so don't try to dive inside someone. You'll get trapped behind the 16.
What do you get, about 83, 8400 RPM, Denny?
I was trying to talk. I can't talk and look at the same time.
There's Kyle moving inside of Marlin.
There.
Steve Grissom comes along. Road is clear. Grissom did not make the pass. He was not able to get down there.
That's a mess is what we got right there.
Yeah, that is a mess. Dale Jarrett has found him a groove up on the outside. He's passed 4 or 5 cars there on the outside.
And the 37 car is still running there with Dale. They had a collision earlier.
And you see the right front fender on that 37 car? That made you sticking right out there, acting like a sail when he goes down the straightaway.
But it hadn't slowed him up much.
I don't know. There was a report that he really didn't have any chassis damage, just sheet metal damage in the 37 car.
Well, I tell you, if a car is even a half a second or less slower than you are here, it is very, very tough to pass. But there's not many cars out there that are a half a second apart. I mean, we're talking tenths and hundredths of a second, and which makes it almost impossible to pass.
Race for third place.
Rusty Wallace trying to take third from Brett Bodine. Has the inside line and gets it. Rusty moves to third.
And he's doing some serious steering as he came off that corner.
Oh, and the spin, Dave Marcus and Lake Speed get together. And a bunch of cars really.
And here comes the leader, Earnhardt, into this mess. But I'm sure his spotters told him to slow down. Yes, they did.
A lot of cars just simply had to stop.
We got Lake Speed up at the top of the track. And we have Dave Marcus at the bottom.
And they got together going into turn 3, touched just a little bit, and both of them went around.
And Dave is going the wrong way. I got news for you, Dave.
And we'll show you the beginning of it as they go into the turn. See Marcus on the inside. He's going to touch him right there, just enough to send the 9-car of Lake Speed around.
Now here's the whole thing from a robotic camera. There they make contact. And Michael Walters, how did he miss that 71 car?
Good heads-up driving. And see here how many cars try to get in that hole, and they just simply have to stop. There's nowhere for them to go. Or not that many, at least. And everybody now into the pits.
Once again, pit stops occurring as the second caution is waving over North Wilkesboro. Here's Jerry and Jeff Gordon's pit.
And you might wonder why they would pit again. They just pitted about 24 laps ago, and because what we showed you a moment ago with tire wear. He gets 4 fresh tires, and Gordon is down. Here's Brett Bodine down. And Rusty, a great pit stop by Robert Zimmerman. As Dale Earnhardt getting 4 tires, he comes out of the pits in 4th spot. 4 fresh tires for cars on the lead lap.
So it will be Rusty up front when we go back to racing in a few moments. Brett Bodine out second, and Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, and Mark Martin. Let's take a look at this spin once again up in corner 3.
There we see all the cars trying to stop, brakes, sliding the tires. And watch as both these cars, one inside, one outside. There's Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte. He and the 28 car make contact. Jeff Bodine just simply stopped up there.
We should give a call, though, to Dave Marcus. He had moved up to 19th from 36th position when he had that run-in with Lake Speed. So we're under caution once again. Take a break. Be back with more live coverage of the First Union 400.
In the history of NASCAR's Championship Series is back. Introducing the race-modified Chevrolet Monte Carlo.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
They test car batteries here. They test pickup trucks here. And when they test yard machines, they go here, Dave Spivey's house. MTD tractors, chipper shredders, lawnmowers, and edgers tackle the toughest jobs. Look for MTD yard machines at retailers near you. MTD.
Wow! I like it!
MTD Yard Machines, American-made, American-owned.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and the First Union 400. Rusty Wallace has the lead in this race. Brett Bodine running second, then Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, and Mark Martin. So Dale went from first to fourth. Jerry, why?
Let me show you what happened in the Earnhardt pit. They changed the right side tires, and while they're changing the right side, they take the left side lug nuts off. Now, when they drop the jack on the right side, the left side lug nuts already being off, let the left side of the car fall, and therefore David Smith couldn't get the base plate of the jack beneath the pin, the left side of the car to jack the left side up. That cost them an additional possibly 3 or 4 seconds, at least 3 spots on the racetrack, Bob.
Just like we documented in our pre-race show, it is so important in the pits.
And there you see, the first thing you see from this shot is where the jack goes on the right side of the Family Channel Ford. The little white thing that sticks down is the jack stop, or the little pipe that comes down, they place the jack under.
Boy, that camera on Dick Trickle's car last week at Bristol showed us some great shots. And I'm sure it will today from Ted Musgraves. Now it pulls up to challenge Jeff.
Earnhardt is running just a little bit higher line than these other cars. It makes you keep thinking he's going to try running even higher, passing these guys on the outside. He really could try right now because there's no one right behind him to get under him if he should try.
Probably testing that groove out, and also, like you said earlier, making them think he's going to go up there.
Joe Nemechek, Terry Labonte, and Dale Jarrett are racing for position back in 19th, 20th, and 21st. John?
Bob, Dale Jarrett has a little left rear quarter panel damage on his car. That's not affecting it at all. Larry McReynolds says the car is okay. But on the very first pit stop, their right rear tire changer, Eric Horn, injured his knee. Not seriously enough to go to the care center, but seriously enough that he can no longer do pit stops. For that second stop, they had to do some changes. Raymond Fox moved over from the left side lug nut to the left rear to the right rear, while Doug Yates moved to the left side and left rear. They only lost a half a second. 17:70 for the first pit stop, 18:27 for the second pit stop.
Inside Kyle Petty's car, that's Derek Cope right beside of him. There's Kyle, coming behind the 71 car, trying to get alongside Dave Martin. Now down in turn 1. Oh, and they get through the corner somehow. And Cope is now hung up on the inside as the 4 car is going to try it on the inside.
And he's going to make 3 abreast. Is he going to? Hey, that might not work. Well, Dave Marcus backed off, which was smart.
And looky here, Earnhardt trying his best to get by Jeff Gordon, and we see Mike Wallace on the outside. There's 3rd and 4th place. Jeff Gordon in 24, Dale Earnhardt in 3. Gordon is 3rd, Earnhardt in 4th. The leaders right now, Rusty Wallace, and Brett Bodine is in 2nd. Inside Mark Martin's car, 5th place car.
He goes to the inside of Mike Wallace.
There's 6th, Bobby Hamilton, the STP Pontiac.
And then Ricky Rudd right behind him. The Ram Field summary where they were running last time around.
Still 29 cars on the lead lap.
The new pit wall on the inside of Mark Martin as he comes down the front straightaway by the start finish. And tries to close up on the 3 car. As we see Jeff Gordon trying to look inside the 11 up in front. Yeah, looks like that the 11 is going to be going a little wide. No.
While they're doing that racing, Rusty Wallace has driven off from them.
Pit stop, his car stalled, wouldn't start to the garage area, and I see he's driven back out on the racetrack now, but he's several laps down. 15, 16 laps.
John John Andretti, even with the damage on the right front of that race car, has moved up to 14th position.
Make that 13th, because he just passed Darrell Walker.
And he also had to take a provisional. Started at the rear of the field in 34th position. So Andretti is making his way to the front rather quickly, despite the damage there on the right front after contact with Dale Jarrett.
Talked to Michael Kratos this morning, one of the owners of the 37 car, and he is very, very pleased with the job that John Andretti is doing in that Kmart Little Caesars car.
Pizza.
Racing. That's right. Steve Bush with the 29 car trying to get alongside.
And once again, Jeff Gordon looks to the outside of Brett Bodine, but they continue to run in that order, second, third, and fourth. Bodine, Gordon, and Earnhardt. Here is Kyle Petty going to the inside of Ted Musgrave.
Behind the 43.
Going to ninth.
There's Kyle Petty's radio we were listening to. There's cameras in both those cars. There's a camera on top of Kyle Petty's car. Hey!
Look at this.
Dale
Earnhardt moves to third place, passing Jeff Gordon.
Jeff couldn't get by the 11, so Earnhardt said, hey, boy, move over. Let me try this. And at 23 years old, I think just about anybody here can call Jeff Gordon boy.
Mark Martin is right there in fifth, not too far behind Jeff Gordon now. What a great run in Bristol last weekend, but had to give up second place with a few laps to go. Now we have Rudd and Greg Sachs going at it. This is for seventh position, and Greg Sachs, talk about people that have moved up in the early part of the race. Look at this, from 32nd to 8th.
He had an absolute great pit stop as Earnhardt makes the move around Brett Bodine and takes over second.
Now Jeff, well, he had a night, couldn't do it.
Now, let's see if Earnhardt can run down Rusty Wallace. We can see that Earnhardt is faster than Brett Bodine. He pulled one car length on that back straightaway.
What's your unofficial stopwatch saying, Dad, as to Rusty's lead here?
2 3/10 seconds. That was the last lap, yeah.
There he is. That's Rusty Wallace on their left. There he is, Rusty Wallace, and Earnhardt with the car on their right.
Now, Earnhardt has closed in a little bit since he has moved into second. She's only about 1 8/10 seconds. So we'll take a look at it officially here.
Brett Bodine, 2.3, 2.6, and Hamilton, 3.3. Jerry, what about Jeff Gordon here?
Bob, not really surprised to see Earnhardt go by Jeff Gordon after I showed you that tire a little bit ago, realizing that Gordon ran the car pretty hard early on and had only about a 32nd and a half on that right rear. And they realized that they cannot burn tires off the car that quickly this afternoon to be able to be there at 400 laps. So they're going to back off a little bit, stay on the lead lap, conserve the tires and the race car until it's time to make their move.
Kyle Petty passes another car. This one is Ricky Rudd.
That puts him in 8th place. Rudd moves back to 9th. And Musgrave is 10th, right behind him.
So Rusty Wallace, the only driver with 2 top 5 finishes on short tracks in 1995, has the lead of this race with almost 100 laps or a fourth of the event gone already. We're watching from Ted Musgrave car as he battles with Ricky Rudd. They're into the corner side by side, and Musgrave may come out of it with the Spire. Now Jeff Gordon trying to take over third position from Brett Bodine, and he will make the move. Now it's Wallace, Earnhardt, Gordon, Bodine, and Martin. Let's take a look at whether or not Earnhardt has been able to eat into that advantage that Rusty Wallace has on him. Earnhardt is running in second position. On the 90th lap, he was 2.5 seconds behind Wallace. And on the 94th lap, he had cut into that advantage by 1 second. Now about a second and a half behind Rusty Wallace, the leader of the Force Union 400 with 302 laps to go. Back in a moment.
In these days of overpriced sporting events and overpaid athletes, have you ever wondered where today's heroes are? The ones who thrive on the love of action and not the love of money? A facility where family values still mean something, and they take pride in what they offer. The excitement, the price, the fun. Come see America's premier sport in action. Come see the Knights in black and white satin.
Do you think Hardy Nickerson is as important as George mentioned?
Sports Radio 910, WFNS.
I mean, if Finney connects in the end zone from 4 yards out, they win the national title.
All sports, all the time. Tampa Bay's original all-sports radio station, Sports Radio 910, WFNS.
Finest drivers in the world's fastest cars compete tonight at 9 Eastern in the Grand Prix of Argentina. Formula One, the art of motor racing on ESPN2.
They're running Formula One today for the second time this year. They're the top 5 qualifiers for the Grand Prix of Argentina as they return to that country. David Coulthard on the pole with Damon Hill alongside his teammate. Michael Schumacher, the defending world champion, is third. You can see this race at 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight on The Deuce, ESPN2. 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Mark Martin, we're riding with him here in the Valvoline car, just past the 11 car and went to fourth.
Down in turn 1. That's the lap car in there. We see him. 11 car right behind him. 43. Bobby Hamilton has caught the 11 car.
I wanted to say that. And Earnhardt has caught up to Wallace, hasn't he?
Yep.
And Wallace coming in on some heavy traffic.
There's the interval between that group and first and second, and you can see that it's just a matter of car lengths as Rusty approaches some slower traffic, and now look at Dale close in.
Ricky Craven wisely moves up, lets Rusty Wallace on the inside, and Earnhardt was saying, shucks, why do you make him go on the outside? Because I think I'm better high than Rusty Wallace.
But now here are 2 cars running side by side in front of them. What you got to do about them? Okay, Presley gets on by Jimmy Spencer, so that put it down to single cars.
And John Andretti picked up another spot as we watch this battle for the lead. He passed Ricky Rudd. Andretti now to 10th. Robert Presley. And again, passing these guys are not going to be that easy because Presley wants to stay in the lead. And when Rusty Wallace goes by, that's not possible.
Presley is running in 26th position, so still a lot of cars actually as a result of the 2 cautions we've had.
There's Earnhardt once again looking on the outside.
He's just going to aggravate Rusty up there a little bit.
Earnhardt has 28 top 10 finishes in the last 32 starts here at North Wilkesboro, a 6.5 per race finishing average at this facility. Now, Wallace to the inside of Robert Presley.
Presley on the inside. Now Earnhardt is right there.
The next car they're coming up on 2 lap is Ward. And Bill Elliott is riding just ahead of Ward.
Bill already is a lap down.
And Ward Burton moves over trying to go by Bill Elliott. Meanwhile, he has the leaders right behind him. Rusty really don't know which way to go now.
For Ward is 2 laps down because he lost a lap, at least 1 lap in that spin early in the race.
I mentioned earlier in the show that Tony Gibson, the crew chief on Bill Elliott's car, had a problem. Jerry Bunch, what was his problem?
Apparently, Tony woke up about 1 o'clock this morning with an intestinal flu and just got worse and worse and weaker as the morning went on. And finally, about 10 o'clock this morning, he could not even stand up. We took a look at him and got some of the doctors from North Carolina Baptist Hospital also involved. Dr. Meredith looked at him and decided that Tony needed some fluids, obviously. And because of some other concerns, we decided to take him out of the racetrack to a nearby hospital for x-ray. So about 10 minutes before we dropped the green flag, we loaded Tony in an ambulance and took him to a nearby hospital where currently he is being x-rayed, looking at his stomach, and currently we have no further updates on him. If I hear anything, I'll pass it along, Bob.
Well, they're side by side everywhere, Doc. Now we got Earnhardt right to the inside of Rusty Wallace, and we had Dale Jarrett and a couple of other drivers 3 wide down in another corner a second ago. Earnhardt takes the lead.
Earnhardt is strong today. He was able to run down Rusty Wallace and pass him for the lead. And here comes Rusty back on the inside. But Rusty keeps loose in the back. I've seen that 2-car wiggle several times as he exits a corner as Jimmy Spencer tries to go by on the outside. Made a pit stop, has new tires, so he'll pass both the leaders with no problem.
Rusty led laps before he gave it up to Dale Earnhardt.
Now Spencer he's already 1 lap down. He lost 2 on his pit stop, so he was 3. So now he'll be 2 laps down once he has got around Earnhardt, which he has now.
Musgrave, Marlin, and Andretti all passed by Joe Nemechek.
That's 8th, 9th, and 10th. Musgrave in 8th. Sterling Marlin, the car we're riding with, is in 9th place, and John Andretti is in 10th.
Ooh. I was looking at something that the camera wasn't.
What did you know about anyway?
Todd Bodine got awfully loose right in front of Dale Earnhardt.
Now we'll go back to the 25-28 race that we saw just a moment ago before Earnhardt took the lead. There we see Ken Schrader, the Bud car, and then Mexico Hamlin car of Dale Jarrett.
Now Schrader made an extra pit stop on that last caution, had to go all the way back to the back, so he's worked his way back up to 14th position now.
Approaching some heavy traffic up ahead.
Dave Marcus running very slow on the outside of the racetrack down in turn 1. There you see the leaders went by Dave as he's up on the outside. I don't know if he's trying to go into the pits or what the situation is, but he couldn't get in, so he's still up on the outside. And Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt are in very, very heavy traffic.
They put a lap.
That was Jeff Burton that they just passed, as we see Jarrett on the inside of Schrader trying to take that 14th spot away. He has position this time and will take the spot.
His spotter has told him that the leaders are coming up back there behind him, and they need to get on.
Speaking of the leaders, you're right, Ned. They're not that far behind them.
Just passing Morgan Shepherd, or trying to pass Morgan Shepherd and Derek Cope. They're running in the 21st and 22nd positions.
And Derek Cope is going a lap down after an excellent qualifying performance that has not gone very well during the race here so far.
We saw Jimmy Spencer just a moment ago after he changed tires back on the racetrack and how fast he was. The speeds with new tires are running about 113 miles an hour, and right now they're averaging about 106 miles an hour.
277 laps to go in this 400 lapper here at North Wilkesboro. Earnhardt leads.
I thought I was smart. I paid less for another protectant. It said it shined like Armor All, so I figured it protected like Armor All too. But it didn't. You should see what the sun did to my dashboard. Some bargain.
Armor All doesn't just shine. Armor All provides superior protection against car vibration.
No bargains for this, baby. I'm only using Armor All.
Armor All. When it comes to protection, there are no bargains.
I love my new hot rod. Those flames scare the other guys. 5,000 horsepower helps too. and a fat bankroll. You know, we've been running Autolite spark plugs forever, but I could wring more money out of someone else. Money's good. My crew burns it. So I tell the guys we're going to run a different plug. They say no. I say I'm the boss. They say Autolite keeps this monster lit. So I tell them I was just kidding.
McDonald's presents the greatest matchup in basketball, Charles and Taz. Sylvester and Wowie? Wowie and Wowie?
Collect all the matchups on McDonald's NBA Looney Tunes All-Star Cups. Buy any extra value meal and for 39 cents more, supersize it and get a free cup for a limited time. Break for yours today.
Wedgie and Wold One, huh? Gracious, Michael?
I thought you retired. McDonald's NBA Looney Tunes All-Star Showdown Cups.
ESPN wants you to feel the rush of IndyCar racing. Keep watching for details on how to enter the ESPN Legend Returns Sweepstakes, sponsored by Firestone.
ESPN Speed World coverage of the First Union 400 is being brought to you by Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life. By Allied Signals Autolite spark plugs, guaranteed for 2 years no matter how far you go. And by McDonald's, have you had your break today? It is still Dale Earnhardt leading Rusty Wallace, and they're coming up on Jeff Bodine, who's running in 19th position, just about to lap him.
A couple of cars coming into the pits as Rusty Wallace makes a move on Earnhardt, but Bobby Labonte and Joe Nemechek are coming in. They've had all they can stand with that slipping and sliding.
Actually, the 18 car is leaving. He's already made his pit stop, and Nemechek is coming in, as you said.
Now, we'll get mixed up on that because this long, or I will, this long pit road here. Yeah, Labonte is heading away around towards turn 4. Nemechek had a good qualifying run, and he's down here.
You don't know who's coming or going, do you, Nick?
No,
it's been about 65 laps for the leader, so it won't be long. Nemechek's car was very good. See that damage on the right front fender of his car? I think that might have knocked the toe end out on that car when he made some contact with Kyle Petty making a pit stop.
About a 21-second pit stop for Nemechek. He's back out there, and we continue to see Earnhardt trying to lap Jeff Bodine and now Greg Sachs.
And Greg Sachs, the Kendall car, was very, very fast a few laps ago, but now he has fallen back in the clutches of our leader, Dale Earnhardt. All that's come out from under the 3 car. That was rubber buildup that he collected under his car going down in turn 1. That was not debris from Earnhardt's car. It was Earnhardt's car, but it was not part of his car.
And John Andretti has picked up an up to 8th position. He has passed Ted Musgrave and Sterling Marlin since we saw him last, and now runs 8th.
I think that Tim Brewer, the crew chief on that 37 car, learned a little something about North Wilkesboro in the years he spent here with Junior Johnson.
And John Kernan has more on John Andretti.
Vinny, I think you're exactly right. When I talked to Tim Brewer this morning, he just gave me that look, smile, and said, hey, we messed up in qualifying. We didn't do that good a job at the race. We're going to be great. In fact, that last pit stop, Andretti took on only right side tires, so it's amazing that he's running as well as he is.
Jeff Gordon is on pit road for his stop. You can see Ricky Rudd also in. Let's watch Jeff Gordon's pit stop as he relinquished 3rd position to come in. Jerry Punch is there.
And they have already put the right side tires on the DuPont Chevrolet. Our pole sitting car now getting left side tires. No chassis adjustment. They cleaned the windshield. And the right rear is torn out once again as Gordon is down and away in 17.9 seconds.
Man, that's a great pit stop. 4 tires.
Yeah.
And only 7 men across the wall.
It's still Earnhardt leading Rusty Wallace, but not by much. They continue to lap slower traffic. Now Earnhardt finally puts a lap on Jeff Bodine,
who is running in 16th
there's
position.
a tire running across pit road.
Off of Dale Jarrett's car, we understand.
And cars are coming in. Hopefully they'll miss that tire. So far they have.
There's Ricky Craven coming in as Dale Jarrett goes out. And a new leader as we watch the activity on pit road now. Here's the new leader, Rusty Wallace, who got around Earnhardt again.
Michael Waltrip, the Pensoff car, finally he moves over. Rusty Wallace gets alongside.
Derek Hogan is in the pits. And so is Ricky Craven.
Just a moment ago, we saw Dale Jerry Punch.
And it took almost 30 seconds for Coach Ford to get down here to the end of pit road where he is pitting. They change all 4 tires and move away. And remember, Earnhardt pits even further away than Coach. We'll watch and see how long it'll take him to get from entrance to exit of pit road.
And we see Kyle Petty entering pits in turn 3. Michael Waltrip's coming in. And there he's in his pits, John Kernan.
Remember earlier I told you about the radio problem, Michael Waltrip. They got it fixed, they got it plugged back in so Michael can tell him the car is handling. This time it'll be a 4-tire change. Right side's already on, they'll come around to the left side. No chassis adjustment as Kyle Petty has made his way on to pit road. Michael's gunning the engine, but not too tight, he's down and away.
Now we see Kyle getting in the drink as he sits patiently waiting on the crew to finish. As Michael Waltrip leaves, also the 5 car leaving his pits. Here comes Bobby Hamilton. Kyle's car is down, he's leaving the pit, shift to second gear. Now has to watch that tachometer, about 3,500 RPMs as Bobby Hamilton comes to a stop in the STP car.
Ken Schrader's also in.
Well, these cars that have pitted are gaining a lot of distance on Rusty Wallace. Now, Earnhardt's coming in right now, but Rusty Wallace has really slowed. I got a clock on him right now. He just turned that last lap in 21 and 2/10 seconds. We'll see how long it'll take Earnhardt to get to his pits. I mean, 35 miles an hour is the pit road speed. Boy, it seems like an eternity from the time you enter that pit back there in turn 3 till you get all the way down to his at the far end.
His is the very first one down at turn 1, Jerry.
And the championship pit stall as Dale Earnhardt will get all 4 tires. Rusty Wallace is pitting 2 spots back to go his way down pit road at a very patient 35 miles per hour. Now the strategy here is they'd like to be able to go on 2 more pit stops in the Earnhardt pit as Rusty comes down pit road. Earnhardt is down and away, and here is Rusty now getting right side tires on the Miller Genuine Draft Ford Thunderbird. That's Billy Wilburn putting the right front lugs on top. They cleaned the front grill. There's rubber in the front grip. There's trouble now with the right rear. They're having trouble, Vinny.
Evidently they had a lug nut stuck in the socket or something. They had to go back around and get another wrench. And you see the car is sitting on the air hose. So now they can't even use that wrench. They've got to get another one for the left rear.
Oh, man, boy, that cost them a lot of extra time.
Just a disastrous pit stop for Rusty Wallace. Mark Martin is on pit road getting service on the Valvoline Ford.
And I think that's put John Andretti in the lead.
Indeed it has. John Andretti, the leader, as Martin pulls away. There's the leader, John Andretti.
Well, boy, he is getting slow because of those tires. You can see cars just passing him at will.
Yeah, I was going to say he certainly doesn't look like a leader, does he?
No.
Because every car there is going by him, and he just almost stopped him up the corner, and he's still going down the racetrack.
Boy, he's hoping for a caution, but it's going to cost him because he don't come out here in the next lap.
And Rusty Wallace, after that disastrous pit stop, he lost almost a half lap to Earnhardt, is still in heavy, heavy traffic trying to get by Spencer. There he is. But with fresh tires, he should be able to pass these guys. But right now, they're side by side. They just, what's he going to do?
John Andretti had lead. No, Jeff Gordon just got back in the lead lap when he passed John Andretti.
So right now, Jeff Gordon will be the fastest, the front cars of all the fastest cars. Now let's watch and see what happened to Rusty Wallace. He makes his pit stop, comes to a stop, then we watch the guy on the right rear. He's got a nut stuck in the socket. He says to them, give me another wrench. He goes around and pops these nuts off, takes the tire off, and changes it. He grabs the gun, and you see they left the car down on that impact wrench. So now they've got to have another one to change to the other side. Jerry Punch, what's more?
And Benny, what you're looking at, this little lug nut right here stuck in that air gun, cost them about 5.5 seconds here in the pits. They have been trying to pry it out with a screwdriver, and it won't come out. They've been doing everything they can, and you hear, I'm whirling this baby around, and it is stuck in there. That cost them an extra 5, almost 6 seconds on pit road.
Dropping Rusty to 9th place after being in the lead.
John Andretti continues to run out there on the inside of the track. If there is no caution, I don't know how long they plan to run, but he's going to find himself probably a lap down when he does finally make his pit stop. Here's Earnhardt about to come up and get back in the lead lap.
Bad break for Earnhardt because he ran across Earnhardt, who was very slow at Nemechek, and that cost Earnhardt a couple of seconds.
But he will get back in the lead lap now as he passes Andretti. Earnhardt is running in third place.
Well, right now, John Andretti is running about 105 miles an hour, probably. Average speed, Earnhardt's running about 112 miles an hour.
Finally, he comes in.
Finally. Now watch as he comes down pit road, and let's go to John Kernan.
Vinny, John Andretti comes in. Tim Brewer, the gambler, rolling the dice. This time they will change all four tires. About 90 laps they went on this. Well, actually, right side tires. The left side, they changed the first pit stop. So the left side's a lot of laps on them. Already done with the right side. No chassis adjustment. Left going up. Left side tires going on. Gasoline is full. Lug nuts are tightened. And a little problem with that left front tire. 21.1 seconds. Andretti is down and away.
And now he has to keep it under 35 all the way down to turn number 1.
Now you wonder, how do they check 35 miles an hour? You see that white line? That white line, they time these cars, and the time that it takes to go between those lines estimates their speed. They do it with a stopwatch.
Jeff Gordon has picked up the lead once again of this race. Dale Earnhardt is second, Kyle Petty third, Brett Bodine fourth, and Mark Martin is fifth.
Hello from Plank Road, where our man Paul has breaking news about Ice Brewed Ice House. While most folks liked the handy-to-hold 12-ounce bottle, others demanded cans, and we... Then someone said, instead of just 6-packs, how about 12 packs of this smooth brew? And then a cry went out across the land for 24-pack cases. So now, no one else stacks up to Ice Brewed Ice House. Thanks, and enjoy.
Okay, no one really wants to talk about tires, but you know what? Firestone's having this big sale, and I'm talking about it. Don't touch that remote. I'm looking at tires. The big, the bad, the walk on water. I'm looking at sale prices, too. But you don't want to talk about it. So don't. Just take your hoping to catch the red light so people can check me out car and go. You know why? It's big, it's Firestone. It's the big tire sale at Firestone. And like it or not, people are going to be talking. Save big on high-mileage FR440 radials now at Firestone retailers and Sunday's ad.
Monroe developed SensorTrack shocks to smooth out the road for a comfortable ride. But SensorTrack doesn't stop there. It's the only shock that also gives you extra control when you need it most. SensorTrack shocks and struts, only by Monroe. For comfort and control. Get SensorTrack shocks. Call 1-800-STRUT now for a Monroe ride expert near you.
ESPN wants you to feel the rush of IndyCar racing. Enter the ESPN Legend Return Sweepstakes, sponsored by Firestone, and you can go to the Indy 500 as a member of the Patrick Racing Team. Runners-up get Firestone Firehawk tires or racing jackets. To enter, visit any Firestone tire retailer or send a postcard to the ESPN Legend Return Sweepstakes, P.O. Box 518, Hermosa Beach, California, 90254. The ESPN Legend Return Sweepstakes, sponsored by Firestone.
Welcome back to the First Union 400 at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina Speedway. Jeff Gordon is in the lead. We have completed a set of green flag pit stops, and Jeff is back in front. Now there is Mark Martin and Brett Bodine, fourth and fifth.
Martin just passed it, and we see John Andretti after that pit stop.
He's a lap down, Benny, in 18th spot.
We predicted that he would be a lap down once he made his pit stop if there was no caution, which there was not. And he stayed out there on those old tires. Now he'll be able to run a whole lot longer this time. In fact, he ran about 20 laps longer than did Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon is the leader now, so if Andretti passes him, that still does not put him back in the lead lap. He's got to catch the 24 car off Jeff Gordon.
Earnhardt running second, racing here with Michael Waltrip and Terry Labonte. Waltrip will move high on the track, allowing Dale to have the inside line at the 3. Jerry, what's the situation now regarding tires after this set of green flag stops?
Well, behind me is a waiting room, Bob. Now, prior to the race, Goodyear allowed each team to have a total of 6 tires, 3 to practice and qualify, and 6 for today's race. But that wouldn't be enough. So what Goodyear did was hold 400 tires in reserve. And NASCAR said after lap 100, you can release those tires 2 sets at a time to first come, first serve teams. So behind me, the teams have lined up with their empty tire carts. And on this side, the Goodyear tire busters are working as fast as they can in here. And NASCAR even has an official. That's Buster Alton over there. He is programming and monitoring to make sure that each team gets a maximum of 2 additional sets.
Jeff Gordon is the leader, and he has about a 3-second lead, isn't it, over Dale Earnhardt, who is in 2nd place. Kyle Petty has worked his way up to 3rd place.
Now Jeff Gordon coming up on Darrell Waltrip, who is running in 15th position to put a lap on him. Casey fans are wondering, we saw Rusty Wallace with that long pit stop. Now he did not lose a lap once they all made their pit stops. He was back in the lead lap. He currently is in 6th place. He just passed Dale Jarrett and taken over the 6th position.
And here's an Autolite field summary for you. There's Darrell Waltrip running in 15th position and right ahead of the leader. There you see the cars that are a lap down, led by John Andretti, who's right behind Earnhardt.
And John Andretti, I guess the strategy on that Kmart car today is to just try to make it on one less pit stop, because he should be able to blow right by Earnhardt right now, but he must be conserving those tires, trying to get them to last just a little bit longer.
Yeah, and if it goes green all the way and they make one less stop, then that could work out great for us. That's a good strategy.
Yep, Barry told Jerry in the pre-race show that we might have a surprise winner, and it could be John. Here's the roof cam on Kyle Petty.
David Green's down there somewhere. David, 16th. Turn him around.
Kyle Petty is sick. Phoenix told me this morning he's not feeling well. They talked about David Green being there. John Kerner, what's going on with Kyle Petty?
Vinny, I just talked to Barry Dodson about Kyle. He said Kyle woke up this morning and touched his stomach flu or something like that, not feeling very well. Barry said, to put it bluntly, he's very sick right now. So they're trying to figure out who they might be able to call as a relief driver. You just heard him mention David Green. They've also talked about Roy Allen and Dave Marcus. At first, they talked about Dick Trickle, but Dick Trickle fairly back in his race car. The one thing that Barry did tell Kyle, after Kyle requested a relief driver, Barry said, hey, you're in 3rd place right now. Hang on. We'll try and find somebody.
25 laps from halfway.
That's not what he wanted to hear. 25 laps from halfway. Earnhardt closing up on the back bumper of the 24 car. And we can see how he did it.
Well, on lap 168, he was 2 seconds behind, and at 170, he was just 9/10 of a second behind Dale Earnhardt. Gordon was ahead of Dale Earnhardt.
And we can see that Earnhardt is very, very consistent, 20.3 to 20.5.
Now, Gordon made his pit stop several laps before Earnhardt did. We saw him come up on Darrell Waltrip there a moment ago. Darrell is pulled away from him now, so Darrell is running faster than Jeff Gordon. His tires getting hot. Here comes Andretti. Now, if he passes the leader, whoever it is, at the time he gets there, then he'll get back in the lead lap, which he should be able to do with those fresher tires. A change for the lead right there.
Earnhardt takes the lead from Jeff Gordon. Here comes John Andretti trying to unlap himself. Again, he'll have to pass the 3 car to get back on the lead lap, but he has gotten around the 2nd place. Jerry, tell us more about the strategy here.
Well, here's what Andy Petrie has calculated to try to do with Dale Earnhardt. They pitted on lap 144. He would like to be able to make the rest of the race on just 2 pit stops, meaning if he runs 85 laps on the previous stop, that'll mean he'll come back in on lap 229 and then run 85 more laps, come in on lap 314 and have just 86 to go to the checkered flag. He wants to go, if possible, on 2 more stops for the 3 car.
Earnhardt going by Derek Cole. Straight up the car as John Andretti follows him.
Andretti can't get the lap back, at least at the moment. It continues to be Dale Earnhardt leading Jeff Gordon, Kyle Petty, Mark Martin, and Rusty Wallace as 179 out of 400 laps have been completed. And here are 6 through 10. We'll be right back.
Oil.
It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard Oil Filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
When traffic congestion changes, the threats to your car's engine change. That's why Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses the changing threats in your engine and adapts its own molecular structure for continuous protection. So whenever the driving conditions change, so does Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Now you can change to the intelligent oil and save $3.60 on a case of Quaker State. See store display for details.
You know, at AutoZone, we know our customers work just as hard as we do. So we're open when they need us, at night and on Sundays. Since 2 million folks each week count on AutoZone for what they need when they need it, we're not about to let them down. That's why we carry so many parts and why we price them so low every day. You see, selling top quality parts at low prices every day is how we make a living. But helping customers, well, that's how we make friends.
On any given day at Sun Valley Middle School, you'll see something going on that is quite inspiring. Mr. Burns knows that to motivate and educate his students, he must make the learning process fun and interesting. And that's why NASCAR is now a part of everyday life for these students who are using NASCAR to help study math, science, reading, art, and even physical fitness. NASCAR, the teams, and drivers would like to recognize all of the teachers like Mr. Burns who are using NASCAR to help educate children.
Track Facts are brought to you by Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
What do race drivers and mechanics mean when they say, she blowed up? Well, here you see it. This is a heavily damaged cylinder head. Why? Probably because this valve spring broke. The valve spring holds the valve in place. When it broke, the valve floated around and snapped off. There's a good intake valve. There's a good exhaust valve. And you can see when they snapped off, all the pieces went throughout the engine, destroying the cylinder head. Yeah, you talk to those crew chiefs, they say she blowed up, but they got presence of mind enough to say, but boy, that Budweiser Chevrolet was running good. And the Budweiser Chevrolet is about to be lapped by Earnhardt.
Yeah, but he's been there for about 8 or 10 laps now. Ken Schrader's been able to stay out there in front of Earnhardt. Schrader's running in the 15th position, so there are 15 cars on the lead lap.
And Kyle Penny, we understand, is very ill and is asking the pit crew to get a relief driver so that they can get him out and the relief driver in. He has dropped from second back to fifth, or third back to fifth.
He's about to lose another spot to Brett Bodine. Spotter tells me Brett is inside of him.
Todd Bodine is 3 laps down there in the 75 car in 30th position. This team has really come on strong the last few races, and now with Kyle being ill,
Guys, Marcus out.
Barry Dotson asked Kyle, is Dave Marcus out? I mean, right now, there's no drivers around to put in this car.
Everybody is still running.
Yep, all 36 cars still out there. Marcus was out for a while, but he's back out on the racetrack now.
Now we have Mark Martin moving to the inside of Rusty Wallace and taking over third. Martin goes to third place.
A while back, Rusty had passed him. Now Mark returns to the favor.
There Kyle is losing more spots as Sterling Marlin goes by. Ted Musgrave goes by. Rick Mass behind him trying to get by. That's 6th, 7th, 8th. That'll move him back to 9th spot.
Clear.
That was Musgrave, spotter telling Musgrave that he was clear.
Clear.
There goes Rick Mast. He's up to 8th, Kyle back to 9th position.
As we watch this, I don't know if we told you that John Andretti, the Kmart car, did pass Dale Earnhardt to get back in the lead lap.
He John Andretti 12th, back on the lead lap. Less than 5 laps from the halfway point of this 400-lap event.
Richie Rudd coming into the pits in the tied Ford. Steve Grissom just made a pit stop a couple laps ago. Steve was on the lead lap. And once he went off the lead lap, Earnhardt passed him. He came in. Now Steve is 2 laps down in 27th place.
We see the graphic, 204 laps to go, coming up on halfway. And how much is it Dale Earnhardt wins at halfway, Nick?
$10,000.
Wow.
Gatorade, yep, for leading at the halfway point. There is Earnhardt.
3 more to go.
197 complete.
Man, his truck won the Super Truck race last night in Tucson.
Well, it's Teresa's, but...
Ron Hornaday won the race in Earnhardt/Teresa's truck.
Yes. P.J. Jones put on a great performance, coming from 3 laps down to finish second. Yeah, it was.
And we see Darrell Waltrip still ahead of the leader, Dale Earnhardt. And Earnhardt 3 wide. Got Jeff Burton on the outside, but backs off. Now he is on the inside of Schrader, trying to put that Budweiser Chevy a lap down.
Will be 14th position that Schrader is running in right now.
Sterling Marlin, this is looking back from the rear of his car at Ted Musgrave as Joe Nemechek, the Burger King car, comes up. There's on top of the Family Channel Ford, looking back.
And there is the halfway point. Earnhardt crosses the stripe, leads at the halfway part, and marked 200 laps completed, and wins $10,000.
And there we see Musgrave on the inside of Marlin trying to take a spot away. That's for 6th spot. He does it. Now here comes Rick Mast trying to take a Sterling Marlin, kick back to 8.
There are a lot of cars slipping and sliding out there right now. Excuse me, Jimmy.
Greg Sachs coming in the fifth, we saw just a moment ago.
Jeff Burton is out the fifth.
Here's Sachs coming to a halt and letting the crew go to work on the Kendall car. Show you a field summary, meanwhile, as we watch the action in Greg Sachs' pit. Making a chassis adjustment. Here is Dale Earnhardt coming up on 13th place, Darrell Waltrip.
And folks, I didn't work on this 17th car. It was one last week that finished third that I worked on. Rick Mast trying to chase down Musgrave. Here comes the 18th car. Evidently he stopped to change his tires.
Yep, he had gotten a halt in his...
Bobby Labonte has dropped back to 25th position in the 18 car.
Now we see the 11 car. Brett Bodine, our outside pole sitter, has fallen back. Here comes Musgrave and Mast. These guys trying to get by the 11 car.
And Benny, we understand that the 30 car, Michael Walter, may be having brake problems.
Michael's in 17th position, 1 lap down.
And there we see Rick Mast on the inside of Brett Bodine. Musgrave has already gotten by, and Mast gets by. This is inside Rick Mast's car. See the 41 car coming down the pit road.
Kyle is going a lap down to Dale Earnhardt.
Jarrett comes into the pits. Richie Craven coming into the pits as well.
And the 28 car of Jarrett is in for a pit stop.
Now this is the first pit entering pit road. Oh, trouble. Had to jack the car back up to get the hose out from under the right rear. It's still hung. Looks like they get it out now.
The pressure is on those guys to get their driver in and out of the pits as quickly as possible. Okay, back out of the racetrack. It is still Earnhardt leading on the right of your screen. And Jerry Punch has a report on the 24 car still running second.
He is second on the racetrack, but he's losing spots right and left, Bob. And the reason he isn't contesting the spot trying to milk those tires as long as he can. Remember, he 7 laps before Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace. He pitted back on lap 137. We can't continue to do that, give away 7 or 8 laps for pit stop. That would mean 1 extra stop for them. So here's what Ray Evernham told Jeff. Said, hey, take care of the tires, sit out there and ride. We got to go to lap 225 for our next stop. I know it's a long way, but you got to milk those tires. That means we're going to run 88 laps. That's why you see Gordon slowing down in the corner.
And that is 14 laps away from right now. We're on lap 211. And you can see there that Jeff Gordon is coming up on Kyle Petty to also put Kyle a lap down. We'll be back with more of our live coverage right after this.
Now, an oil made just for your hard-working engine. 4x4 from Quaker State. Off-roading, extreme temperatures, towing and hauling. They all make your light truck or 4x4 work extra hard and could shorten its life. Why settle for a conventional car oil? Get 4x4 from Quaker State.
Now, an independent test proved 4x4 superior to leading conventional car oils in protecting against deposits that can shorten engine life.
Now with $20 down, $20 a month for 12 months at 0% interest, you can afford to furnish an entire room. But hurry, pretty soon, the offer folds.
Right now, there's a sale going on at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. But better hurry, because no matter how you measure it, time is running out.
Going on now at our Sarasota and Bradenton locations.
From out of the great Southwest, Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar presents the Southwest Stampede, the food that made the Southwest famous, the heat of the chilies, the sizzle of the fajitas, the zest of slow-simmered black beans. There's adventure, excitement. It's the best of the Southwest. So come on, saddle up for Applebee's Southwest Stampede. America's favorite neighbor, Applebee's.
Extreme Games 101. Class begins tonight at 7:30 on ESPN2.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro. First of all, let's tell you that Jeff Gordon did not make it to the 225 lap mark. He has already been in, and now here comes Rusty Wallace. It's the long road down for Rusty, who was running second. Jerry Punch is right there. He's at his pit. Jerry?
And Rusty Wallace wanted to make it to lap 217 because of Gordon deciding to pit about 15 laps early. They had no option but to come in early. But Dale Earnhardt, our leader, just entering pit road, way up in turn 3. Remember, he is some 30 seconds away as you watch the left side tires going on the Miller Genuine Draft for 16.9 seconds as Wallace moves away, and now Dale Earnhardt will enter his pits, and we'll watch to see if Andy Petrie and company, David Smith, is going to work on the right side of that car. Remember, earlier they had a problem with the jack on the left side. They took the left side lug nuts off, the car fell, and they couldn't get the jack on it. This time, no such problem. Here's Smith around, left side of the car, being jacked up, left front, left rear tire is full of fuel, and Earnhardt is down and away, as Sterling Marlin also enters the pit for his scheduled pit stop.
He pulls out. The 16 car, Ted Musgrave, is also just pulling out. So is Rick Mash. Bobby Hamilton and Mark Martin are still getting service. The 21 car of Morgan Shepherd comes down. There's Mark Martin as they go to work on the left side of that car.
You see him put the car in first gear. He's through with his drink of water. He said, I'm ready to go. That jack goes down. That's his signal. Away he drives.
18.4 seconds for Mark Martin on his stop. The best by far, Rusty Wallace in the crew, and under 17.
Guess who's back on top?
There he is.
John Andretti.
Once again, you can see what happens. He's going around the racetrack with those worn tires, and the guys who change those, stop to change tires, just blowing right by him. He'll probably be out for another 20, 30 laps.
Probably so. He went 20 longer the first time than did Jeff Gordon. Not 20 longer than Earnhardt did, but yeah, probably stay out there another 15 or 20 laps.
And right now, Kyle Petty has not stopped either because they're desperately trying to find a relief driver. So he's in second place currently, and Dale Earnhardt is still on the lead lap.
Here comes John. Well, this is a bit of a surprise. He comes in way earlier than he did last time. John Kernan.
It'll be a 4-tire change for John Andretti. Tim Brewer, knowing what he knows about this racetrack, figured he might as well pit just about. After he saw what had happened with that first time, they lost a lot of time on the track by staying out there looking for the caution. Left side's on now, no chance. The adjustment. John Andretti is down the way at 19.1 seconds.
Not a bad stop for John. A little bit of a change of strategy here for that team.
Now we're back to 13 cars in the lead lap, and Darrell Waltrip is the last of those on the lead lap.
John Andretti is going down a lap. Yes, Earnhardt goes by Andretti just as he goes by. Kyle Petty is the leader of the race, but I think Earnhardt, to me, is the real leader.
Well,
yeah, Kyle is running much slower than those who have, of course, changed the tires.
Here's back to the cars other than Kyle. There is the leader of the race, Dale Earnhardt. He, in fact, is the leader now, right, Dan?
yes.
He's changed Kyle Petty. He now, in fact, is the leader.
That is correct. So now there are just 12 cars on the lead lap. There's John Andretti. Has gone a lap down. But he has pressed the tires there. Oh, and a spin. Mike Wallace is in the wall.
Up in turn 3, we have a caution flag, the third one of the day. Boy, if Andretti had stayed out, he's in good shape, huh?
Yeah, now let's see, Kyle Petty's still out there, so this is a definite break for him.
But John Andretti, if he just stayed out for a few more laps, would have been able to catch the caution flag and put a lot of cars a lap down. Now he himself is a lap down. There we see Mike Wallace and the Heilig-Meyer car trying to get going. And I want to say right now that yesterday was Junie Donlev's 71st birthday, the owner of that car.
Yep.
And Mike's daughter, Lindsay, will be 10 tomorrow. A lot of birthdays going on in that 90 car.
And while we're saying hi to people, Frances Holmes is watching from her hospital bed back in Indianapolis. Chevy Furlan, our pit producer's grandmother, who came through her surgery well. We wish you the best. Get out of there and get back home. Now, Earnhardt and Gordon both come down pit road, along with several others. Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace coming down also. And John is in Kyle Petty's pit.
Kyle Petty looks exhausted as he leans his head back. Barry Dodson, cleaning the windshield, handed him a cold drink. Kyle sipping it through underneath that full-face helmet. He drank down that entire bottle, about 20 ounces of fluid.
Go ahead.
Very, very quick. Jeff Gordon in out 16.8 seconds, 19.8 for Kyle, 17.6 for Dale Earnhardt. For Kyle Petty, the bad news is not a single driver has fallen out of the race. Now, David Green is here. He's standing by in case Bobby Labonte needs relief. So they don't want to give that up because Bobby Labonte, even though his left shoulder has been feeling much better, there's still somewhat of a burning sensation, he told me. And so they don't want to take a chance that Bobby might need a relief driver later.
There's the car that caused the caution, the Heilig-Meyer's car driven by Mike Wallace. Damage in the left rear. Here's a replay of what happened as he comes in. This is our robotic camera in turn 3. Just got a little out of...
Yep, looks like we got up just a little bit high in that groove. Could have had a tire going down or something of that nature, but anyway, she spun around and back in the wall.
Sterling Marlin's perspective.
Well, you can see Mike was already up there loose.
Get up there in those marbles and the traction is pretty bad.
Yep, he was looked like attempting to go Rick Mast going into the turn, and she just went out from under him.
Now just listen as he goes in this time. Sound didn't work too good, but you can see what happened. They were working on the left rear of the car. The crew's working away.
Yep. Making sure all the sheet metal is away from the other 3 tires as they work on the left rear.
Not a very good birthday present, huh, Junie?
That's too bad.
Now the sledgehammers come out. So under our third caution of the day, after 230 of 400 laps, is Dale Earnhardt leading the First Union 400.
Hey, Ma,
Tom, I just got here. No, Super 8 isn't mad I'm late. I've got their VIP card. They'll hold my room and give me a 10% discount. What are you going to do for me?
With a VIP card, guarantee your room and save 10% at all Super 8s nationwide.
Introducing new Armor All Vinyl Siding Wash. Spray it on, wait 5 minutes, then wash it off with a hose. And look, why, it's the greatest invention since vinyl siding. New Armor All Vinyl Siding Wash.
Hello from Plank Road, where our man Paul is ready with a simple little demonstration. This is watered down. Ooh, not pretty. This is not watered down. This is Ice House. It's ice brewed, never any watered down taste, and that's why Ice House is always so remarkably smooth when it's going down. So remember, watered down and not watered down. Ice House, thanks, and enjoy.
They're the young guns of racing. And on their Sunday afternoon showdown, these next-generation superstars start with the next-generation Die-Hard battery. The longest-lasting Die-Hard ever. The same Die-Hard you can buy at Sears. Don't trust your Sunday drives to anything less.
We have run a lap and a half under green with Dale Earnhardt still out front. Might mention that Kyle Petty came in and got some more ice and fluid to try to feel a little bit better. Kyle is ailing out there on the racetrack.
And there's nobody to relieve him. Tough position to be in. John Andretti did not pit. He got back in the lead lap when the leaders went in, but immediately Earnhardt passed him, so John Andretti is a lap down. He's being shown front place, 11 cars on the lead lap now.
Here is the Budweiser race recap. Dale Earnhardt had led 99 of the first 233 laps, 13 lead changes, 3 cautions for a total of 14 laps, and the average speed of the race, 99.670, and the event record for this race that is the event record if we keep at that pace. The drivers that have led a lap and picked up bonus points, Earnhardt, Gordon Wallace, Andretti, and Brett Bodine. Mark Martin also has led 2 laps of this race, and we don't have a thing to show you on the out-of-race board because everybody's still out there, or at least nobody is officially out of the race.
That's amazing.
Dave Martin is 60 laps down, and Dick Trickle is 27 laps down, so they're still out there running.
Steve Grissom in car number 29 is running in 4th position. That's Rusty behind him in 5th, but Steve Grissom has had a very impressive run here today. He started 15th at lap 173. He was 10th, dropped to 20th, and from 205 to 236 moved to 4th place.
And he did that by making an early pit stop. Now, not taking anything away from the way he's run, because he has run good, but good strategy. He came in, made an early pit stop about 15 laps before the leaders did, so he got a lot of good lap time out there. In fact, he had gone right down right before he came in, and then after they did it, he was up there in 3rd place. And made a good pit stop here, came out in 4th place.
Boy, Kyle would sure like to have some relief, but there's no one available.
No, the 90 car has gone to the garage area, but you know that they're going to work on that car and try to get it back in the race.
Now, Rusty has passed Steve Grissom to pick up the 4th spot.
And Brett Bodine is trying his best to get by Grissom. He's alongside.
That's 4th, 5th, and 6th right here. Brett to 5th.
Dale Jarrett is now running 6th. 7th.
I think that's 7th, yeah. Steve Grissom has dropped back to 6th now.
Never see Dale Jarrett, the 28 car.
Having a tough time getting around John Andretti.
As Dad said, Andretti did not stop on those tires. On fresh tires, he had 4 or 5 laps on those tires.
Yeah, he only had just a few laps before that caution came out. So.
Closely pursued by Jeff Gordon, and Mark Martin is just 3-4 car lengths behind them.
That's 157 laps to go, so These guys, some of them may be thinking about 2 more stops, 1 more stop. Interesting to see what the strategy might be. It looks like these guys are running hard enough that they plan on stopping twice more.
Dale Earnhardt has 5 top 4 finishes in the first 6 races of 1995. He leads this one. He leads the points by 17 over Marlin, but Jeff Gordon is trying to wrestle the lead away from Dale.
Can't make it. Earnhardt able to get the jump off the second corner.
Another Napa Field summary for you. Cars on the lead lap.
I guess it sounds like it looks like the Ray Evernham called Jeff and said, look, take it easy on those tires. And maybe now they've decided they'll try to stop 1 more time. Interesting to see how this is going to play out. Should there not be another caution flag between now and the end of the race?
Here a little bit and show you some racing going on. The 28 and the 4. That's Jarrett and Marlin are 7th and 8th.
And Dale Jarrett started, what, 33rd and then?
Yeah.
He had a great run today.
Yeah, he can race well. He just get where he could qualify that thing.
Jeff Gordon once again taking a look. Got a better run this time.
And he will go into the lead again. Jeff Gordon back on top. A reminder that he and other members of the Hendrick Racing team will be on Shop Talk coming up at the conclusion of our telecast here at North Wilkesboro. We're riding with Mark Martin, and he's third. The top 2 are just in front, Earnhardt and Gordon.
Not been able to go quite as far as Earnhardt and Martin in the past. The tires seem to give up a little bit quicker.
Martin, it's Rusty Wallace running 4th, and Brett Bodine is in 5th position after 253 laps. And here comes 6 through 10. Back in a moment.
Budweiser King Top Fuel Dragster. Who says you need wings to fly?
With all the motor oils on the shelf, how do you know which one to choose? Some people even think they're all the same. Then why do you suppose one brand of motor oil is the #1 choice of America's top mechanics for use in their own cars and trucks? Which brand? Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And for extra engine protection, try Valvoline DuraBlend Synthetic Blend Motor Oil.
Splitfire won a United States patent. It's clearly different, but is it really better? Some of the toughest judges in the nation conducted trials and published their verdicts. 5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. A 4.8% gain in mileage. Quicker in the quarter mile. There's nothing like a split bike. You'll get more power and more mileage guaranteed. You'll get it all for your money back.
This spring, Napa is celebrating its 70th anniversary with low prices on some great parts and accessories. Pick up Champion resistor spark plugs, only 59 cents each. A Time to Shine complete car wash kit, just $7.99. And STP oil treatment, free after mail-in rebate. So stop into Napa soon, your complete auto parts source since 1925.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
ESPN Speed World coverage of the First Union 400 is being brought to you by Firestone, America's tire since 1900. By AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time. And by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. Bush, the official beer of NASCAR. Overhead, North Wilkesboro, North Carolina Speedway. Hovering in the crystal clear blue sky, the Family Channel blimp. And they are providing these shots from for us today. And we talked about Firestone sponsoring our telecast of Winston Cup today. Well, Firestone, of course, is back at IndyCar racing, and you can see the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach IndyCar race at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, about an hour and 16 minutes from right now on ABC. There is top 5 qualifiers. Newman Haas team of Andretti and Tracy have the first and second positions. Gilles Defer in third. Defending series champion Allers is junior fourth, and Mauricio Gugelman will line up fifth for today's IndyCar race.
Mark Martin trying to catch Dale Earnhardt, about like it was when we left. Go to our commercial break.
See the leader out there in front of him. That's Jeff Gordon with that red, bright, day-glow rear section of the car.
That rainbow-looking effect of DuPont.
Brett Bodine and Steve Grissom, 5th and 6th. Brett Bodine's last win, only win in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, 10 here at North Wilkesboro. At this race in 1990, 146 races ago.
Red Sox moves over, let these fast cars go by.
Brett really looked forward to this race. He's had a lot of success here, not only winning his only race here, he's won a couple of races here. And, of course, their sponsor, Lowe's Company, their headquarters are here in North Wilkesboro, about 5 miles from the Speedway here. Junior Johnson shop just down the road here, 7 or 8 miles. So
definitely a homecoming. Yeah. Let's find out what the situation is regarding Kyle Petty. He's still in 12th position. We'll see this possible change of position here. Yep.
Or 5th.
Yep. Steve Grissom goes to 5th place, dropping Brett back to 6th. Now, what's the situation with Kyle Petty, John?
Kyle, of course, still not feeling well. So Mike Wallace, who was involved in that wreck that brought out the last caution, they're working on the Highland Myers Ford Thunderbird in the garage area. Mike is standing by. I think the plan right now is when they can get a caution, or Kyle will drive as far as he can, then Mike will get in that car. They're still continuing to work on Mike Wallace's Thunderbird. If they get that fixed, then Kyle would go back out to finish the race in that car. So a little bit of switch here. Mike Wallace driving the Ford, ready to substitute for the Pontiac driver Kyle Petty.
You know, from a size standpoint, that'll work well.
Good job, Kyle.
Yep.
Barry Dotson tries to keep Kyle pumped up, keep him going.
He's still on the lead lap at 12th.
That's exactly what that was, Nick. Barry trying to keep him going. Right behind Rick Mast.
Now, he's only about 3 seconds in front of Jeff Gordon, who is leading the race.
33 there.
That's Robert Preston that I saw, not Rick Mast. He's here the same sponsor, but...
Chevrolet, there's the Chevrolet. That's Robert Preston, 33. Going down to the Spencer. Spencer is in 27th position, being shown 3 laps down.
Electronics in Kyle's car.
Clear.
You know, we tried an experiment at Darlington where we had a lot of in-cars, and we had a regular coverage on ESPN1 and in-car coverage on the Deuce. It went over very, very well. A lot of favorable comments. So we're going to do it again at Daytona. on July 4th weekend.
During the Pepsi 400. That ought to be interesting, those cars side by side, about 20 deep for those in-car cameras, probably 6 or 7 cameras. And Earnhardt trying to take the lead from the 24 car.
But he's bottled up behind the slower car of Randy LaJoie. Jerry has more on Jeff Gordon.
And just a moment ago, Ray Evernham told Jeff Gordon, he said, if the green car gets up there and he pushes you hard, let him go. Don't burn up the tires. Because they've already learned they cannot save the tires in the 24 car. We saw last time I told you he would have been on lap 225. They still had to come in 10 laps early because the tires went away. And the 24 car will have to pit twice more, according to Ray Evernham, around lap 302, and possibly again with some 20 laps to go. The most they have gone on the green today is 78 laps on the right rear tire. Bob?
So we may expect it in about 24 or 5 laps. If that's the case, this thing is going to play down to who has the best strategy. It really is.
And Earnhardt has been able to go a little bit longer than some of these other guys. He might make it on one more stop. And if the cautions fall right, or if there is no caution flag, boy, that could really be great.
Yeah, it sure could. And Mark Martin has been going about the same distance as Earnhardt, and he's just sitting right there on Earnhardt's bumper. Biding his time, it looks like. Maybe he's doing all he can do, but he's staying with him nevertheless.
And once again, we talked about at the top of the show, this long pit road. The fact that they extended the pit road, it takes so long to get around pit road. That's why it's such, when you stop twice, it's such a penalty, because that long pit road, it's 30 seconds down pit road and another 20 seconds for the stop, almost 50 seconds.
There is Kyle, and he's not too far from being lapped. About a full straightaway.
Kyle's in heavy traffic. Traffic is going to be tough with him not feeling good for him to get around. And, of course, the 24 car has the advantage of getting the passing flag up on the cars that they're coming up to left.
We see there's some tires there that Heilig Mars off the 90 car going over to road.
And there is Mike Wallace, who is standing by for Kyle Petty to possibly get in there and do some relief driving.
You know, Goodyear has the tires, but it's easier to get tires that's already mounted than tires that they've got to get mounted by Goodyear. You see, Kyle has not been able to get by Robert Pressman in the Stoll car. He's still up in front of him.
85, good lap.
20.85 is the lap time. Earnhardt's running about 20.60 to 65 for he and Jeff Gordon.
We'll see how long Kyle can stay in the car despite the fact that he's not feeling well. Mike Wallace standing by for relief. It's Gordon, Earnhardt, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, and
you
Steve
got it.
Grissom,
Come on.
the top 5.
Good job.
From Darlington to Talladega, through Daytona, Rockingham, and Watkins Glen. In every major NASCAR race, Busch Beer recognizes the pole winner with the Busch Pole Award. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, everyone follows the leader. Busch Beer, proud sponsor and official beer of NASCAR.
Think you can get top brands and top performance at just any auto parts store? Get serious. Get Western Auto.
For entertainment on a grand scale, the MGM Grand Hotel, Casino, and Theme Park more than lives up to its name. Here, the spectacular is an everyday event, and every event is a spectacle. Especially effects starring Michael Crawford. Extraordinary even by Las Vegas standards. Nothing will affect you like effects. Only at the MGM Grand, the Lion of Las Vegas. Try to take.
With all the motor oils on the shelf, how do you know which one to choose? Some people even think they're all the same.
Then why do you suppose one brand of motor oil is the #1 choice of America's top mechanics for use in their own cars and trucks? Which brand? Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And for extra engine protection, try Valvoline DuraBlend Synthetic Blend Motor Oil.
The battle up front continues. They put a lap on Kyle Petty, but Dale Earnhardt is trying to take the lead away from Jeff Gordon, and hanging in there in third position is Mark Martin.
They was pretty excited in that last lap when they got 3 abreast down the front straightaway. And me on my feet. Now Earnhardt's going to try it on the inside. Tries to get alongside Jeff Gordon. He does it.
Remember what Evernham told Jeff as the 3-car comes up to challenge, let him go. Will he do it? Looks like he will. Yep. Earnhardt goes back to the lead.
I think Jeff Gordon trusts Ray Evernham 100%. Totally. What he tells him to do, he does it.
And I agree with him. He should.
Yeah.
Jeff led 95 laps, has led 95 laps in this race. Now we'll show you a Napa field summary.
As you can see, there are only 10 cars on the lead lap now, or 11 cars, I beg your pardon.
Darrell Walker got himself back in the lead lap. How about that?
Yep.
John Andretti has fallen 2 laps down now in 18th. That occurred while we were away commercial.
Actually, Darrell never did go a lap down, did he?
Oh, he did? Oh,
no, they caught him, but never did get around him.
That's right.
Mike Wallace, the only car out of the race. The tire situation continues to be a real problem here. Here's John Kernan with a report.
Bodine running in about 28th place, 3 laps down. This is crew chief Troy Selberg. Troy, you only have 2 new tires left. What's up with that?
Well, apparently, the story that I get, Goodyear didn't bring enough tires with them here to the racetrack. They were kind of counting on some cars falling out of here, but at North Wilkesboro, the attrition rate hasn't been very good. You know, a lot of cars still in the race. Factory storage Ford Thunderbird's eating tires as fast as we can put them on there. So we're just going to have to do the best we can with what we've got and try to finish this race.
Well, they will try to finish the race. As I was walking up to this pit, Ward Burton, Jeff Burton, the 2 Burton brothers from South Boston, Virginia in this race. Ward's been having some problems. Jeff still running okay. Jeff's team came up, got some tires from Ward's team.
And we saw a change for 8th position while you were giving us the report, John. That was Rick Mass that moved to the inside and put Sterling Marlin back to 9th. Oh, he's a little swirly coming off the corner.
Oh, just a little sideways, that's all.
No problem.
Nothing unusual here at North Wilkesboro.
John Kernan has more on Rick Mast.
Well, just a few moments ago, before checking out the Top of Dine story, I went down to Rick Mast's pit and talked to his car owner, Richard Jackson. He says they're kind of taking it easy right now. They are going to make it on one more stop as Gordon is being passed by Mark Martin. That's for 2nd place.
Yep, so now it's Earnhardt, Martin, and Gordon.
But I'm not so concerned about the fact that Mark Martin passed him. They've lost so much distance to Earnhardt. It's like Jeff Gordon all of a sudden developed a problem or something.
Well, I think his tires are just, as we've said several times, that they're going away quicker than Earnhardt's are, and I think that's what we're seeing happen right now. Darrell Walter did go a lap down, and immediately he came into the pits. Darrell was in the pits in the Western Auto Chevrolet. Let's go back to the pits, and Jerry Punch more on Jeff Gordon.
I told you to remember that Jeff Gordon could only go around 78 laps on the green and the tires went completely away. Well, at lap 300, he will have run 75 laps under green, and therefore his tires are gone. Did you see Ray and Evernham and company sitting there? They would like to be able to keep him out there until about lap 304, 305, maybe even closer to 310, or they would love to see the yellow flag come out. But right now, they know their tires are gone, Bob.
Well, they have completed now 300 laps. And it is a 2.1-second lead now that Earnhardt enjoys over Mark Martin. He's almost a little more than 10 seconds ahead of 5th place Steve Grissom. Dale Jarrett has always been among the first to come in, and he's in right now.
He was running in 7th place. They knew they were going to have to make 2 pit stops, so they thought they'd come on in early. And and try to gain some track position out there. A little trouble there on the left side.
Yeah, they're having trouble back in the left rear.
Yeah, that's a long pit stop. They were good on the right side, but the left side is a definite problem. Maybe an air range problem. Maybe they don't even have the tire off yet.
They just now got the tire off.
Wow, this is a long pit stop. Jerry Punch is down for Brett Bodine.
And scheduled stop for the Lowe's Home Improvement Ford Thunderbird. Brett returning to the scene of his only Winston Cup win, coming here back in 1990. Good pit stop, good change of tires on the right side. They will add a round of fight in the car. The car's been a little bit loose. And he's put left side tires on, get it full of fuel. He is down and away as he will go side by side with Dale Jarrett out of short turn 1.
Long pit stop for Dale Jarrett. Good stop for Brett Bodine and team.
I think it was a lap difference in them. They were running together on the racetrack before they made a pit stop. Brett was right in front of Dale Jarrett, and now he's just right behind him. And in fact, Jarrett is being shown 3 laps down now in 17th position. He's running 7th in the lead lap before that pit stop.
Dale Earnhardt enjoying a rather comfortable lead at the moment. He's led 132 of these 303 laps that we have completed. And there goes John Andretti to get one of his laps back. Rick Mast came in. John, how come?
Well, the best laid plans of mice and men sometimes go awry. You've all heard that saying. Just checked in. Rick came in, 4 tires. Their plan to go with just one more stop went down the tubes because the last 5 or 6 laps, the lap times for the Skoll Ford Thunderbird had fallen way off. So they will have to make another stop. Now we're waiting. Steve Grissom should be on pit road in just a short time.
I tell you what, Earnhardt did is just driving away from Mark Martin.
Yeah, his car seems to be the best on old tires, best of any of them.
See, there's Mark Martin just now coming to the picture. Rick Matt. And that Skoll car just stopped to change 4 tires, blows by. Mark Martin.
Pit stops very shortly by Earnhardt, Martin, and Gordon, perhaps within the next 3-4 laps.
And we talked about the tires on Jeff Gordon's car going away. Now Mark Martin has fallen back to Jeff Gordon, so it looks like his tires are just about gone.
Yep. 91 to go. They'll still have to make another pit stop, I believe. Look, Sterling Marlin coming into the pits now. Sterling running the 7th place in the car on the lead lap.
Kodak Film Chevrolet to a stop. Marlin second in points going into this race. Just 17 behind.
As we watch this, I'll tell you that Jeff Gordon, there he is, has passed Mark Martin to take over the 2nd spot.
Rusty Wallace is coming in as Marlin pulls out.
Rusty was running in 4th position.
You wonder how they get 35 miles an hour. See the white lines? NASCAR times the pace car at 35 miles an hour between those 2 lines with a stopwatch. And these cars have to do exactly the same thing. Jerry Punch?
We might be seeing the last pit stop of the day for Rusty Wallace and possibly the 2 car. You see the right side tires now go on and the left side going on. We are being told that possibly Wallace, Mark Martin, and Earnhardt might make their final stop. Let's go to the scene for some verdict. Steve Grissom and Buddy Barrett and Sushi wanted to stay out about 5 more laps, but no, they had to duck in. 8 laps to go. This could be their final pit stop. Let's go down to Jerry Punch as Grissom heads down pit road. Jerry. It's going to be a stretch for Jeff Gordon if he can possibly make it the rest of the way on that pit stop. Gordon pitting. As the car number 3 of Dale Earnhardt will also be coming down pit road, and Ray Evernham and crew continue their work on the DuPont Chevrolet. And now Earnhardt brings his Goodrich Chevrolet in. As Gordon leads, Earnhardt gets right side tires, and and they will go on the left side now. David Smith, left side Jack is out cleaning the windshield. And I don't believe they're going to try to bring Earnhardt back in. This will probably be his final pit stop. Sorry, on caution flight. Let's go to John Turner. Ted Musgrave is in. It'll be a 4-tire change. They also take a roundabout out of to loosen that car up just a little bit. This likely could be Musgrave's last stop. He stayed out just a little bit longer. Hamilton also comes in. There goes Musgrave. Hamilton, as you heard the spotter telling you, go, go, go. Hamilton will also likewise be a 4-tire change. The crew going to work on the right side. The can of gasoline going in. Jack coming around to the left side. 1, 2 pumps. Left side going on. Blood dust being tightened. Bobby Hamilton sitting, waiting. Jack is dropped. He's down and away.
Meanwhile, this is Ted Musgrave from inside the Family Channel Fort as he's back on the racetrack with his 4-tire.
will be the leader when everybody finishes.
And he said that 3 will be the leader when everyone finishing with a pit stop.
Kyle was, now Earnhardt goes to the lead once again. Kyle is off sequence with pit stops, but Earnhardt has passed him on the track, and Earnhardt goes back into the lead now with about 83 laps to go.
Well, I tell you what, if he goes the rest of the way, that 3 car is going to be slipping and sliding when this race is over.
Trying to put a lap on Bobby Hamilton, put him 2 laps down. Just ahead is Derek Cope in the 12 car. He is in 30th position, 4 laps down. Back with more from North Wilkesboro in a moment.
Alex Karras Lincoln Mercury has just received a special allocation of new cars with special discounts so we can pass those savings on to you. Like this brand new 95 Grand Marquis, fully equipped for only $19,995. Or buy this brand new Lincoln Town Car, fully equipped for only $32,995. Now this sale is good only at Alex Karras Lincoln Mercury, and we're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on U.S. Highway 41. Don't miss out on this special sale.
Leeds Building Products offers top quality in every category. Lumber, plywood, drywall, roofing, insulation, siding, plumbing, heating, electrical. When it comes to building materials, we've got it all. Free delivery, free project estimate. Good old-fashioned service and everyday low prices. Leeds Building Products.
Following today's First Union 400 from North Wilkesboro, you'll meet the drivers for Hendrick Motorsports. Ken Schrader, Terry Labonte, and Jeff Gordon will be our guests here on Shop Talk. You'll have an opportunity to purchase some exclusive new merchandise, so join us after the race today on Shop Talk.
That will be at 4 o'clock Eastern Time in less than 1 hour from now. When Dale Earnhardt went into the lead and passed Kyle Petty a while ago, we had our 19th lead change. The record is 20 in 1979, and now Rusty Wallace goes inside of Steve Grissom and picks up 6th.
The only car, we have 10 cars on the lead lap right now. The only car that has not made a pit stop of the lead lap cars is Kyle Petty. He's being shown in the 10th position.
There's Kyle Petty from inside his car, actually on the roof of his car.
He's about to go a lap down. Dale Earnhardt coming up right behind him.
Here he comes, guys. Coming on your outside. Let's pit this time.
Okay, so Kyle will be coming in. He goes a lap down. Earnhardt goes around it.
Now we'll watch Kyle Petty as he heads down pit road. Got to slow for this first white line.
Okay, we're ready. Here comes, boys. Here's some ice. Give me some ice water.
Ice water. Kyle Petty not feeling well, dehydrated there. That watered the ice and the drink. It won't work. It won't work. Oh, no.
When things go wrong, they go wrong, don't they?
Now he's finally getting a drink.
clear to go.
The towel that they handed Kyle was full of ice. He just simply dumped it on his lap, trying to cool his body down.
Pumped it up to 85 here today in North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, there's the leader right there.
Here he is. There he goes.
70.
Dale Earnhardt, look at this. Before he made the pit stop and got fresh tires, 104 after 110. More than 6 miles an hour faster on the fresh tires.
And Kyle Petty was just black flagged by the NASCAR officials.
I think he went down pit road too fast. We'll see if that is the penalty, but he really took off down pit road. It looked, I didn't have a stopwatch on him, but I thought, that looks a little bit faster than usual. That might not be the situation, but I bet that's what it is.
He's coming to the attention of the crew.
There'll be a stop-and-go penalty if that is the case.
Okay.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yep.
Now, easy, Kyle. Don't overdo it this time.
Now he's bringing the shovel in to get it go as fast as possible.
Clear behind the 9.
Cost him another lap to come in and do that.
He's gone down to 21st spot. Back up front, meanwhile, with this Dale Earnhardt. Continuing to lap traffic. There he is beside Ken Schrader and behind Bill Elliott.
The 8 car, Jeff Burton, was very slow off of turn 2. He got up very high there. That might have been the reason he could slow down, but he's still going very slow.
Here's a battle for position. Mark Martin goes to 3rd, putting Rick Mast back to 4th. And Jeff Gordon is now in 2nd position.
Rick Mast stopped just a little bit earlier than these fellows. They picked up the speed with the fresher tires. Oh, some contact between Kyle Petty and John Andretti as Andretti tried to get by Kyle. These body men love these last 3 weeks. Darling and the rest of them here.
And we got Martinsville to go.
Yeah.
Here's a replay of what happened up there in 3, just ahead of Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Kyle down on the inside makes a little contact with the 37 car of John Andretti and sends Andretti high, but he keeps her under control and keeps going. Now he's up beside him again.
We'll show you where John is running here on our Napa Field summary.
Schrader. Trying to put Schrader the 2nd lap down. Schrader in 14th spot, 1 lap down. You always read what Schrader's mind right now is. Come on, Earnhardt, cut me some slack. There's the race for position.
Yep, sure is. Rusty Wallace trying to take over 5th from Brett Bodine, and he does it.
And Mark Martin has just about caught
Jeff Gordon for 2nd. Pretty comfortable lead still for Dale Earnhardt. Back of him, good battle between Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin for 2nd. Mast is 4th, Wallace 5th.
If you settle for a remanufactured engine without a brand name, be sure you've got a pair of name brand shoes. AC Delco Engines, the national brand name with the nationwide warranty. Call for a location near you. Of course, if you come in on foot, we'll understand.
You know, at AutoZone, we know our customers work just as hard as we do. So we're open when they need us, at night and on Sundays. And since 2 million folks each week count on AutoZone for what they need when they need it, we're not about to let them down. That's why we carry so many parts and why we price them so low every day. You see, selling top quality parts at low prices every day is how we make a living. But helping customers, well, that's how we make friends.
This NHL season, it's all crunch time. So when they ice it, hook it, save it, stick it, stop it, play it, and score it, you'll need to know. NHL Tonight on ESPN2. News, features, and highlights. Sports Center for the hockey addict. Tuesday through Saturday at 11:30 p.m. As the clock winds down, the season heats up on ESPN2.
Well, it's even up front in the top 10. We have 5 Chevys and 5 Fords, 11 through 20, 5 and 4 Advantage Chevrolet, 21 through 31 to 6 Advantage Ford, and then 31 through 36, 2 Chevys and 3 Fords and 1 Pontiac. But the leader is Dale Earnhardt in a Chevy.
Darrell Waltrip, the 17 Chevrolet, goes a lap down to our leader, Dale Earnhardt. Now Earnhardt is finally alongside of Schrader, trying to put Schrader that second lap down.
Boy, it's taken him a long time to do it, and he still hasn't.
Schrader is 14th.
And with Waltrip going a lap down, we now have 8 cars that are on the lead lap. 6.7-second interval between Earnhardt and Gordon, first and second. That's pretty hefty lead on this track.
Yes, it is. We're trying to find Jeff Gordon and see just how much 6.7 seconds is. There he is. And the interval between second and third is 3 car lengths.
It's not very much. Yeah.
This is on top of Mark Martin's Valvoline Ford.
Coming up on 50 laps to go.
Brandon LaJoy in the 22 car.
Little contact there between Gordon and LaJoy. And Martin looking inside. Yes. But the slower car of Phil Elliott is up ahead, so they'll have to line. Jerry, what's the update on Phil Elliott's crew chief?
Well, thanks to Chief Parsons, their PR person. I just got a note a moment ago that Tony Gibson has been taken to Wilkes Regional Medical Center and admitted with an as yet undetermined illness. He was complaining of severe abdominal pain this morning. They took him out of here over to Wilkes General Hospital, and he has been admitted there and is resting comfortably, we are told right now. Cindy Elliott, Bill's wife, accompanied Tony to the hospital. We will pass along any more information we might have prior to going off the air today.
I hear Parsons mentioned as a PR person there for Bill.
Yep, my youngest boy.
Sure is. He does a great job.
Meanwhile, Mark Martin still trying to catch Jeff Gordon.
John Andretti makes a pit stop. He was 2 laps down in 17th before coming in. He has had his ups and downs here today, and one time he led this race and was looking real good, and if he had waited just a few more laps to make his second pit stop, he might have been in real good shape.
Boy, the timing on these pit stops. There we see him coming down pit road slowly, 35 miles an hour.
We're talking about going slow. Kyle Petty has really slowed down on the racetrack.
Yep, there you saw Jeff go around it. Nemechek and Martin to pass Kyle.
And now you see Jeff Gordon's been able to put a little distance on Mark Martin. As a matter of fact, he has 2 cars. Oh, we see the 41 car of Ricky Craven smoking.
Craven way up high on the racetrack in turns 1 and 2 to allow everybody to go underneath. Here's Brett Bodine coming in for his final pit stop of the race. He drops from 7th position.
Dale Jarrett had just made a pit stop.
And these guys are stopping short, trying to take advantage of new tires. With pit road being so long, I'm not sure it's a good strategy.
Well, I don't know. If it continues to go green, then it can work out okay if others have to stop. But if those that don't have to stop, well, it's not going to work for them.
19-second pit stop for Brett Bodine, and he's back out there. second advantage on Jeff Gordon. Look at this. He's stretching it out.
It's the last time we saw that was 6.7 or something, wasn't it?
Yep.
And Kyle Petty is very, very slow on the inside.
Kyle's just riding it out. He just feels so bad that he's just trying to stay out of everybody's way.
Dropped all the way back to 29.
There we see our second place car, Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Automotive Finishes. The rainbow-looking car. And there's our leader, Dale Earnhardt, the Goodrich Chevrolet.
With 360 laps completed, we're less than 40 from the checkered flag. Will Earnhardt win his first of the year? We'll be right back.
Okay, no one really wants to talk about tires, but you know what? Firestone's having this big sale, and I'm talking about it. Don't touch that remote. I'm looking at tires. The big, the bad, the walk-on water. I'm looking at sale prices, too. But you don't want to talk about it. So don't. Just take your hoping to catch the red light so people can check me out car and go. You know why? It's big, it's Firestone. It's the big tire sale at Firestone. And like it or not, people are going to be talking.
Save big on high-mileage FR440 radials now at Firestone retailers and Sunday's ad.
Hey, Mom, I just got here. No, Super 8 isn't mad I'm late. I've got their VIP card. They'll hold my room and give me a 10% discount. What are you going to do for me?
With a VIP card, guarantee your room and save 10% at all Super 8s nationwide.
At the end of the day, more top mechanics in America choose one motor oil over any other brand to help keep their own cars running longer. Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline.
You've got 700 horsepower trucks. You've got Craftsman tools. You've got heart pounding, bone rattling, eardrum busting speed. What else do you need for a perfect Sunday afternoon? The all-new NASCAR Super Truck Series, brought to you by Craftsman. The only tools tough enough for super trucks.
Family Channel Blimp has been on its national tour since September of 1992 at events like this. Our Winston Cup race here this afternoon, they're providing the overhead shots for us today. Rick Mast, running in the top 10, has come in for his final pit stop. Now he moves back out onto the racetrack.
Here we see Earnhardt trying to get by Sterling Marlin. Meanwhile, Mark Martin trying to take over that second spot. Alongside Jeff Gordon coming off the second corner.
They go down into the corner side by side.
But they're coming up on Bobby Hamilton. Hamilton staying low to let the leaders by on the outside, and that's going to work to Gordon's advantage.
And Dale Earnhardt was able to get by the four-car Sterling Marlin, putting him a lap down.
So now there'll be just 5 cars in the lead lap. Sterling Marlin is running 6th.
And in 5th position is Steve Grissom. His best career finish is 6th twice, so if he hangs on to that 5th place, Steve Grissom will have his best career finish in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. Now down into turn 1, Mark Martin staying right alongside Bobby Hamilton. Actually, Bobby staying alongside Mark. And now Martin makes the clean pass.
Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon's been able to pull away by 5 or 6 car lengths from Mark Martin.
And we have 30 laps to go.
So who will have to stop and who won't? Well, I don't know.
Well, America's Cup 95 coverage continues tomorrow with both Challenger and Defender final race from the waters off of San Diego. ESPN's award-winning coverage tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time here on ESPN. It is warm in San Diego. It is unseasonably warm here in North Wilkesboro. Temperature near 85 degrees, and it's taking its toll on drivers.
Yes, it is. And I started to say, and I forgot somewhere along the way, that this is by far the warmest day we've had in 1995.
So they really haven't had an opportunity to condition themselves under race conditions on a hot day.
I really wouldn't think it would be this hot in April.
Not in North Wilkesboro, in the mountains here.
Yeah, mid-80s.
There we can see that only 5 cars in the lead lap, just 2 cars, 1 lap down.
Now Now, most of these cars back through there have made what should be their last pit stop.
Jeff Gordon almost a half straightaway behind Dale Earnhardt. These guys are going to stop here. Mark Martin, I would think that they should be stopping pretty soon.
Yep,
There's no point waiting on Earnhardt to stop.
No.
John Kernan has an update on the Todd Bodine story that he told us about earlier.
Well, remember his crew chief, Troy Selberg, what he said, they only had those 2 tires. Just a few moments ago, saw a crew member, 4 brand new Goodyear Eagle tires headed up to Todd Bodine's pit. So they've got 4 new tires. Now let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch. Oh, you know, we mentioned that Kyle Petty was struggling today in the car number 42. His teammate isn't having much better luck. Greg Sachs has gone out in the car number 40 due to total exhaustion. He has been overcome with fumes. They have taken Sachs to the infield care center. Actually, he climbed down on the car and laid on the ground and decided to go ahead and push the car to the garage area. They have since taken Sachs to the infield care center. We have been told he is awake and alert, but is absolutely overcome with fumes and exhausted, Bob.
Yeah, it's, as I said, it's taken toll on drivers here this afternoon, this hot weather that we're having. Well, there was Earnhardt, and now let's see where... There goes Gordon.
Ever see Mark Martin? Our 4th place car is Rusty Wallace. And he's closely followed by Steve Grissom, our 5th place car.
And Dale Earnhardt is less than a straightaway behind him. Put a lap on him.
By the way, the 3-car Earnhardt has led the most laps here today, so those 5 additional bonus points go to Earnhardt.
2 laps to go. Then if Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon are going to have to stop, they're going to stop pretty soon.
Yep. And let's see who goes. You're right.
Rusty's been pretty impressive on this short track. 9 wins in the last 21 races and in the top 5 here this afternoon with 20 laps to go at North Wilkesboro.
This spring, Napa is celebrating its 70th anniversary with low prices on some great parts and accessories. Pick up Napa motor oil for only 89 cents a quart, a Napa lawn and garden battery just $17.99, or buy Napa Sensatrack shocks or struts and get 60 minutes of free long-distance calling. So stop into Napa soon, your complete auto parts source since 1925.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
With all the motor oils on the shelf, how do you know which one to choose? Some people even think they're all the same. Then why do you suppose one brand of motor oil is the #1 choice of America's top mechanics for use in their own cars? Which brand? Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And for extra engine protection, try Valvoline DuraBlend Synthetic Blend Motor Oil.
For entertainment on a grand scale, the MGM Grand Hotel Casino and Theme Park more than lives up to its name. Here, the spectacular is an everyday event, and every event is a spectacle. George Foreman defends his title against Axel Schultz. April 22nd is the Grand Garden, the ultimate heavyweight bout in the ultimate boxing venue. Only at the MGM Grand. The Lion of Las Vegas. Proud to take.
A safari rarely lasts longer than a few weeks, unless it's a safari maintained with genuine AC oil filters. Because over hill, dale, and wadi, no other filter can track down, trap, and capture more dirt. So, AC oil filters keep your engine in the hunt for a longer life.
Call 1-800-AC-DELCO. It's like buying time.
When it's a matter of survival, it's AC filters.
At 4 o'clock, at the conclusion of our coverage of this First Union 400, Shop Talk, featuring Eli Gold with Jeff Gordon and other members of the Hendrick Racing Team, Terry Labonte and Ken Schrader. That's at 4 o'clock, right after our coverage here at North Wilkesboro. At North Wilkesboro, Dale Earnhardt has the lead of the race, and there are less than 14 laps to go. No sign that he'll be coming in for a pit stop, but Kyle Petty has given it up for the day.
The crewman has climbed in the right side of the car. Kyle simply cannot take care of himself. He's so exhausted. They're trying to take his helmet off, put some ice, and as a matter of fact, if he sits there, he can't finish any lower than he is right now.
So they don't need to take the car back out there. No reason, because he's far enough ahead of the next place car. He's in 31st place. He's far enough ahead of the next place car that nobody can. He can't pass anybody else, and he can't pass him.
So Craig Sachs has been taken in for some observation because of exhaustion, and Kyle Petty suffering from the same thing. Now 11 laps to go for Dale Earnhardt, and he isn't being caught. Nobody's coming up on him, so there's no reason to make a pit stop because everybody's about in the same shape as far as tires are concerned. There is the second place Jeff Gordon. Right behind him is third place Martin now coming up to the inside of Jeff Gordon.
These fellas are going to run 86 laps on the set of tires. That's a lot of laps for tires they said would not last much more than 70, 75 laps. And Martin is trying to have to race Jeff Gordon with these tires. As we see Dale Jarrett go by with the pressure tires on the 28 car.
The short track season will end 2 weeks from today at Martinsville, Virginia. The first half of the short track season will be there with live coverage of that race also. Looking at the battle for second place, Gordon and Martin.
Martin's tires, I believe, are just rigged. I think they're gone, but I believe Martin's gone even worse maybe than Gordon's.
It feels almost like driving on dirt tracks, trying to use the throttle to keep the car going straight. Can't jump on the throttle too quick. If they do, the car will just basically spin out.
Well, Rick Mass is almost in trouble there.
Darrell Walton's about to move into 10th place, passing Kenny Schrader.
Mass, by the way, is a lap down in 8th position. He was on the lead lap, but has lost a lap due to a pit stop.
Mass looks like he's trying to catch somebody, but I'm not sure who it is. What position?
Well, Ted Musgrave is the next car up in front of him, where
Musgrave's coming on 2 and Rick Mass is going in 1, so hard to imagine being able to catch him in 6 laps.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go there, for sure.
Mass has had a good run, though, today.
Had a terrific run. Very good, Rick Mass. When I asked him what he was doing for his chassis, he said, we have no idea. We just put the same stuff we had last year and hope for the best. Worked out pretty well. Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt just 3.5 laps to go. There we see Earnhardt behind Jimmy Spencer. Oh, Spencer almost loses right in front of him. That must be something.
And Robert Presley were testing some space out there on the racetrack.
Presley is in 18th position, 3 laps down. Spencer's in 27th, 6 laps down.
Running back in 4th and 5th, the 2 and the 29. Rusty in 4th, and Steve Grissom in 5th position is en route to his best career finish. He is the last car on the lead lap. Here comes Earnhardt, corner number 4, looking for the white flag. 1 more lap to go in the first Union 400, and Dale Earnhardt will rack up his first victory of 1995 and extend his points lead over Sterling Marlin, who is running in 7th position, a lap down. Earnhardt now off of corner number 3, corner number 4, and Dale Earnhardt has won his first of 1995, extending his streak of winning at least 1 race every year over the last 14 years. The streak starting in 1982. Here's John Kerner with Andy.
I
High fives, handshakes all around. Andy Petrie getting a hug from Patrice. Andy, first win for you guys this year. Congratulations. You did it in pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You know, we've had a good car all year. We had a little problem last week. We had a good car, and made a nice comeback today. I'm real happy with it. I want to thank all the guys back at the shop. They give us a good car to come up here with, and don't want to forget them. Thanks to the engine guys, Benny Clinton, and all his guys doing a great job back there this year, and I want to congratulate them too.
What about the tires? I mean, what was it, like 86, 87 laps to finish? How concerned were you?
Well, I was pretty concerned, you know, that the numbers just didn't add up to be able to make 2 pit stops, so I knew guys would try it, and it'd be hard to stay out of their way on new tires, but Dale did a good job, and Spotter Craig did a good job of keeping them out of our way.
Well, congratulations, first win of this year. I know it's a long run up there to victory lane. Thanks, man.
Dale Earnhardt will soon be in victory lane, and when he arrives there and gets the helmet off, we'll be talking with him when we come back to the First Union 400.
Monday night, April the 8th, 1974. This crowd is going crazy. Henry Aaron is coming to bat.
TBS presents the real story of Hank Aaron, the man who hit everything life threw at him. Hank Aaron, Chasing the Dream, a world premiere television event, coming April 12th, exclusively on TBS.
Saving lives and helping the sick. There's a lot more to it than that. There's compassion and caring, a way of life at Manatee Memorial Hospital. Our dedicated physicians and staff believe that people should be cared for, not just treated. It's that philosophy that helps us provide the type of health care you expect from the community's healthcare leader. Special support groups, educational services, physician referrals, any health-related topic. Call the professionals at Manatee Memorial.
Rule number 25. To play the game, use a puck.
The Sharks take on the Blackhawks Wednesday. The NHL rules on ESPN2.
Picking up his 64th career win here today and his 5th on a short track, Dale Earnhardt, in victory lane for the very first time in 1995. Earnhardt being congratulated by the people in victory lane. He'll be coming out of the car momentarily, and then the stands will erupt.
He prides himself on not taking the steering wheel off to get out of the car. That shows how slim and trim he is and how fit. Let's see if he's still doing it. Proud of him.
Dale Earnhardt. Here's Dr. Jerry Punch.
He gets a big hug from Teresa and Dale. Boy, you're still skinny enough to get out there that car without taking the steering wheel off, but congratulations on a great run.
Well, I'll tell you, after watching that truck race last night and watching the Hornaday race, got me pumped up. So we had to go out there and race them hard. Tires was wearing a bit, but we had, I think, a good car, a good setup for the tires, and everything worked great. So I think, you know, Good Wrench and Richard Childers, Spinny, and all the guys at the shop, they did a great job. So finally got to victory lane. We've been close all year long. Finally got to victory lane.
Andy said they were very concerned in the pits about the tires. We're going to have to go like 85 laps to the checkered flag. Could you feel the car beginning to go away?
Oh, it was definitely racing everybody else. It was a tough one, but you know, I just kept running my groove, my lane, and my pace, and they was pacing me with the leader behind me, let me know where he was at. So we done a good job.
Yeah, this is the 1995 Dale Earnhardt, a slimmer, trimmer version. Last year we saw you with a few extra pounds, be exhausted. Today you look fresh as a daisy.
Last year I think it's in better shape than this year, Jerry. I hadn't been working out. Indeed, Deshaun hadn't had her working me out like I did last year. I got to get back in shape though. These young guys are too strong. We got to get back after them.
Anybody too strong for Dale Earnhardt? I don't think so today. He gets his first win in 1995. Hey, in fact, let's go over here and take a look at this right rear tire. That's what everyone was so concerned about, was the right rear tire on this car as we go around here, and there is the left rear tire. And this tire on the right rear had to go 85 laps, and I mean, folks, I'm not sure it would have made it 87 or 88 laps. Take a look. It is worn down, maybe less than a 30-second of tread here on the Good Wrench Chevrolet, but hey, he's in victory lane, and that's what counts. Let's go to John Kernan.
Jerry, I'm with the young guy that Earnhardt was probably talking about who's wearing him out, and that would be Jeff Gordon. And Jeff's second place finish, but you said that right rear tire was worn down pretty much.
Yeah, it was real loose at the end. I mean, I was just limping home at the end, and, kind of reminded me of Bristol. The track just was wearing them out today, and we were pretty good for about 30 laps. We could stay with them or at least keep them inside. That last pit stop was a good one, but Earnhart had a little bit better one out there, and we just didn't have anything for him. But this is a great run for us. To sit on the pole, run second at North Wilkesboro, that's a dream come true for us.
Yeah, and you've also moved up to third in the points now.
That's great. It's tight back there. This is what we needed. We kept, winning one, then crash or have a problem, and we need to break that string and have two good ones in a row. And, I tell you, this team is just really strong. We've gone through some growing stages early in the season, and now, we're right on track.
All right, that's Jeff Gordon's second place today, Bob.
And it's his first top 5 finish here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll show you the full field results as we get set to take another break. We've still got about 22 or 3 minutes here before we have to leave the air, so we'll be able to bring you a few more driver interviews before we have to sign off and turn you over to Shop Talk at 4 o'clock. So we'll take the break here and be back with more post-race at North Wilkesboro, where Dale Earnhardt has won his first of the year.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car. Awesome. One opened up.
The world's finest drivers in the world's fastest cars. Compete tonight at 9 Eastern in the Grand Prix of Argentina. Formula One, the art of motor racing on ESPN2.
Back at North Wilkesboro, where Dale Earnhardt has won his 5th race here at this particular oval. He has won this race now on 4 different occasions, 86, 87, 89, and today. Here's Jerry Punch with Mark Martin.
Well, he had a great run today. He finished second, but take a look at this guy now. You talk about physical fitness. This guy's not even perspiring, and that is disgusting down here to so many other drivers who walk by. Mark, congratulations on another great run.
Real proud of this, Valvoline Cummins Ford, who's really great. They built one of the best runs I've ever had here. The pit stops were real good. Car handled good. We just didn't have anything for those other two guys.
I don't think I saw you make any adjustment on the car today, but the car seemed to get a little bit better as the day wore on.
Yeah, it was too tight to start with, and we made some slight adjustments. We're afraid to do very much to it because it was running pretty good. It's not my strong suit. Anytime I need to hurry up, I have a tendency to just put the gas pedal to the floor. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't do that on a little flat track, and it's very frustrating for me because on a big racetrack, I'll just slam it in the corner harder or whatever and slide through there and speed up. But the little flat ones, once we get to Richmond, it's better. And then when we get to the flat miles, you can stand on it and go on. And we run this good at Martinsville, I'll be happy. We'll take these and go on. I got to say, it was a real good run for us. We've been strong this year and had some poor finishes because of, or not so great of finishes because of problems and mistakes and bad luck. And this is a race where we finished where we ran.
Well, maybe the luck is turning for Martin. The pole last week and a runner-up finish today, or finished third today. Let's check in now with John Kernan, who's standing by with Rusty Wallace.
Good run for Rusty today, a 4th place finish, but was it slipping and sliding there at the end?
It was pretty slippery at the end, no doubt about it. We run a long time on tires. The tires did a great job, no problem, but
boy, the racetrack is so old and so slick, and after about 60 laps, you're really fighting it hard, but we had a good job. I mean, the team did a great job. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Miller and Fleetwood RVs and Mobile and all the guys. They did a great job. Goodyear had good tires, but hey, we're consistent right now. We're gaining points, and that's what we need to do. We lost a lot of points early, and everything's going good right now. This Penske-owned car is doing great.
Now, I understand your brother Mike, after he had his problems, fell out and gave you some tires. Is that a weekly arrangement, a brotherly love thing?
Well, I think if I'm going to need some tires and Mike's out, that'd be the first place I'd go, no doubt about it. I mean, it was a war out there today trying to find tires, and so NASCAR just kept holding tires and rashing them. It was really a bad deal because they give them to you so late, you glue the lug nuts up, and the lug nuts would all fall off. And I had some problem with that today. But other than that, it was a smooth day.
Yeah, it was a pretty smooth day. A fourth-place finish for Rusty Wallace, Bob.
And you saw was his third top 5 short track finish of this year, his 9th straight. Let's take a look at the points. Dale Earnhardt now has a 56-point advantage on Sterling Marlin. Jeff Gordon moved up 1 position. Mark Martin lost a position, and Terry Labonte stayed the same. 6 through 10, here's the big mover, or one of the big movers. Rusty Wallace moves up 3 positions to 6th. Musgrave up 1, Jarrett down 1, Grissom up 4 to 9th, and Derek Cope lost 4 positions.
And Steve Grissom has missed a race this year, Bob.
That's right.
And still is now in the top 10 in the point standings. Quite amazing.
And we'll show you 11 through 4 in the point standings.
Kenny Schrader's in 15th spot. Michael Walter, Brett Bodine, Bobby Labonte, Jeff, and Bill Elliott. These points, now we're getting to the point that it becomes very critical for provisionals. Next week in Martinsville, there'll be 4 provisionals available, and they go to the team that's highest in the point standings.
You can see how close they are back through the line. They're very close, even down through 30th position, Ricky Craven.
And that's why some of the drivers that are not making races right now, it's going to be even tougher for them to make them in the future because they continue to slide backward in the points, and as you indicated, that's what the provisionals are based on.
You know, some people will say that Steve Kinzer has another provisional available.
Hey, look at this.
Hi. Hi there.
Hi.
But he's not high enough in the points to take advantage of that provision.
That is correct, yep. Well, we thank you for being with us, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
When you're done exploring the high points of these 95 Suzukis, make sure you check out the low points. 9.9% financing, 0 down on some of our best bikes. And another high point, you could win a Suzuki 4-door Sidekick or other prizes during our Customer Appreciation Day sweepstakes for a limited time. See your Suzuki motorcycle dealer now.
You'll find them here, the choice of top NASCAR and NHRA professionals. You'll find them here, the pride of serious do-it-yourselfers. And you'll find them here at Western Auto at guaranteed low prices you can't beat. Craftsman hand tools, made in America, guaranteed forever. And available at Western Auto, just up the road or down the track.
Western Auto, with all the motor oils on the shelf, how do you know which one to choose? Some people even think they're all the same. Then why do you suppose one brand of motor oil is the #1 choice of America's top mechanics for use in their own cars and trucks? Which brand? Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And for extra engine protection, try Valvoline DuraBlend Synthetic Blend Motor Oil.
A news update.
Is it true that the All-Star Steakhouse uses only top quality beef? Yes. Is it true that the steaks are cut on the premises fairly? That's true.
Is it true that the All-Star has 2 giant screen TVs and 7 27-inch TVs?
That's true, too. Do you have the kids menu?
Of course.
Do you accept credit cards?
My answer is here. Is that all?
You serve Chinese food, too.
Sorry, we don't have.
The All-Star Steakhouse. Great steak, reasonable prices.
Alex Karras Lincoln Mercury has the finest selection of pre-owned cars. We sold and serviced since they were new. We only keep the very finest. We wholesale all the rest. They're all fine, beautiful used cars, and they're all low-mileage cars. So if you're looking for a fine pre-owned car and pay the lowest possible price, then you come to Alex Karras Lincoln Mercury, where you'll find a wide selection. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on U.S. Highway 41. Don't miss out on these beautiful cars.
First Union 400 from North Wilkesboro, you'll meet the drivers for Hendrick Motorsports. Ken Schrader, Terry Labonte, and Jeff Gordon will be our guests here on Shop Talk. You'll have an opportunity to purchase some exclusive new merchandise, so join us after the race today on Shop Talk.
That's about 13 minutes from right now. The winner here this afternoon is Dale Earnhardt. The good doctor is with fifth-place finisher Steve Grissom.
And Steve, back in the garage area, continuing to get congratulated by fellow competitors as well as crew members. Steve, outstanding effort today.
Yeah, I tell you what, anytime you can run 400 laps, finish on the lead lap here at Wilkesboro, and we've cranked the car up and driving on the trailer, you've had a pretty good day. And fortunately today we wound up, got the Monte Carlo in top 5 finish. It's best for myself and this team in Western Cup.
Big points move from 13th spot to 9th spot. And you even missed a race. I mean, that's incredible. That shows what kind of season you've had thus far.
Yeah, I tell you, we've had an awful good start to our year, and it's not when Buddy come over back at the first of the year and said, hey, we're going out to finish in the top 10, try to do that on a consistent basis, and somewhere around halfway point of the season, start looking at top 5s. But, we're just trying to get ourselves in position to win. That's our whole deal, and just run to the finish, gain as much experience as we possibly can, and be as consistent as we can.
Folks, remember this name, Steve Grissom, a 6th, 2 7ths, an 11th, and now a 5th thus far in 1995. This kid could be a factor. Let's go over to John Kernan, who's standing by with Ted Musgrave.
Ted Musgrave could also be a factor by the time everything shakes out in the points race. He moved up to 7th in the points with a 6th place finish today, Ted.
You know, that's really a good run for the Family Channel Speedster car because North Wilkesboro hasn't been one of my better racetracks, and that tops my best finishes. Matter of fact, both Roush cars finished up in the top 10, so we're pretty happy about that. You know, the points race is awful tough here, and the guys stuck with me today, had a good run.
Now, you said at the beginning of the show, if you had a good enough run that you and Benny go out to eat, is 6th place, is that good enough?
Well, I don't know. I got to calculate how much money I won versus how much Benny can eat, and we'll see. Maybe he better take me out because I didn't win this one today.
Hey!
Thank you, Ted.
Why is he always picking on me?
If it's less than $1,000, I think better go there.
You notice something that all the drivers are doing, though, when they finish Ted Musgrave was the only one who didn't. All the drivers, when they finish the interview, takes a drink.
Yeah.
Because they're just exhausted, dehydrated, and trying to get all that fluid back in their body.
We set a new event speed record here today. The average speed of this 400-lap event was 102.429.
What, is this your idea of excitement? Let me tell you about exciting, okay? Driving around a racetrack at over 200 miles an hour, that's exciting. These are just flakes.
Well, what do you think?
These are really good. They're crispy, too.
Really?
Yeah, they're mighty good even with nothing on them. What are they?
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes?
How could I be so dumb?
You got 500 miles to think about it.
Kellogg's is proud to sponsor NASCAR champion Terry Labonte.
John, how you doing? You know AutoZone customers are pretty special. I mean, they take great pains in doing a job just right. So they know exactly what they want. That's why we carry so many parts. And also why we price them so low every day of the week. Because you gotta admire a guy who'll tackle a job like putting in a starter, a water pump, a rack and pinion. And you gotta give a guy like that exactly what he wants. The right parts and the right price.
Miller Genuine Draft. The original cold filtered beer. As smooth as they come, as pure as it gets. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world's a very cool place. With all the motor oils on the shelf, how do you know which one to choose? Some people even think they're all the same. Then why do you suppose one brand of motor oil is the #1 choice of America's top mechanics for use in their own cars and trucks? Which brand? Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And for extra engine protection, try Valvoline DuraBlend synthetic blend motor oil.
Coverage of the First Union 400 being brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. making the world a very cool place. By Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. And by Kellogg's. Kellogg Corn Flakes is proud to sponsor NASCAR champion Terry Labonte. We'll take the weekend off next weekend for Easter, but we'll be with you 2 weeks from today at Martinsville, Virginia for the Haynes 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race. That will be at 3 o'clock Eastern Time from Martinsville 2 weeks from today. Back with more from North Wilkesboro in just a moment.
This spring, Napa is celebrating its 70th anniversary with low prices on some great parts and accessories. Pick up AC resistor spark plugs, only 69 cents each. A Time to Shine complete car wash kit, just $7.99. And STP oil treatment, free after mail-in rebate. So stop into Napa soon, your complete auto parts source since 1925.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Talk some baseball right here on Talk 2. Pick up the phone, give us a call right now. First off, Indiana, Bob, you're on Talk 2.
Romy, you're God here in Indiana.
Thanks, Bobby. Keep moving. California.
Yo, Romy.
What's up, Nick? You're a brick.
Man, you got shoelaces in your mouth.
Couldn't miss that on Talk 2. What was that?
Jim Rome on Talk 2, live weeknights on ESPN2.
Back at North Wilkesboro, let's go down to Jerry Punch, who's with Brett Bodine.
After starting on the front row, you get your best finish of the year for the Junior Johnson car, a top 10. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. It wasn't pretty, but we'll take it. You know, to have a run finally, the competitive here at home for Lowe's and of course Junior. You know, we needed it, and if now we can build on it. You know, I wasn't expecting to go from top 20 finishes to a win. But, you know, to finish top 10, it was decent. We led the race a little bit and, you know, just gave the hometown fans something to cheer about. And now we can go to Martinsville. I think we can build on this performance.
Just seeing the smiles on the Lowe's crew behind me and Mike Beam realizes that this is like a win for you. What a difference from where you began the 1995 season.
Well, it really is, Jerry. And, you know, we really needed it. The guys have been working hard, and we weren't getting anything in reward for it. Finally, we got a little bit of something here at home. They get to sleep in their own bed early tonight, and, you know, we got a week off now with the Easter holiday coming up and get ready for Martinsville. A track that, you know, should be good for us also.
A top 10 for Brett Bodine, looking for a top 5, possibly at Martinsville. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Jerry, I think you'd have to look at Rick Mast, too, as one of the guys potentially for a top 5 at Martinsville. Today, Rick, you guys rolled the dice, extra pit stop, still wound up 8th place.
Yeah, we've had so much trouble this year, John. We're going to finish 4th or 5th, you know, and we come down with like 35 laps to go. We decided to come in and get tires. We knew, you know, we'd lose 2 or 3 or 4 spots, and most spots we could lose, but if it worked out right, we could win this race, you know what I mean? So we went ahead and stopped. None of the other lead cars did, you know, and the way it ended up, I ended up losing some spots, but, you know, you got to do that sometimes. You know, we're so far back in points, we haven't run good. What's wrong with rolling the dice every now and then?
That's right, you got to roll the dice. Sometimes you come up in 8 today, your best finish of the year, Bob.
All right, Dale Earnhardt, we remind you, has won here at North Wilkesboro. Second, Mark Martin, third. We will be back to wrap things up from North Wilkesboro right after this.
You know, at AutoZone, we know our customers work just as hard as we do. So we're open when they need us, at night and on Sundays. And since 2 million folks each week count on AutoZone for what they need, when they need it, we're not about to let them down. That's why we carry so many parts and why we price them so low every day. You see, selling top quality parts at low prices every day is how we make a living. But helping customers, well, that's how we make friends.
With new spark plugs, you get improved performance for a while. But only Bosch Platinum has a pure platinum center electrode that's heat-fused for an airtight seal. So Bosch Platinum reaches its self-cleaning temperature faster for full engine power over a longer performance life, which means you'll replace a lot of other things before you change your Bosch Platinums. Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
There's more racing tonight on The Deuce, the Grand Prix of Argentina Formula One race at 9 o'clock tonight on ESPN2. Now let's take a look at the full field rundown from here at North Wilkesboro this afternoon in the First Union 400, where Dale Earnhardt pulled off the victory.
Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Steve Grissom, all those cars on the lead lap.
And Ted Musgrave finishing 6th, Sterling Marlin 7th, Rick Mast 8th, and Brett Bodine 9th, and Darrell Waltrip getting himself a top 10.
You know, it's the first time that Earnhardt's won this year, guys, but really and truly, he has been very competitive each and every race. And at Bristol last week, might have had the best car.
Very consistent all during the year, and that except for last weekend, and that's what's kept him at and on top of the point standings. Again, he has a 56-point advantage on Sterling Marlin at the conclusion of this race. We can continue to show you the rest of the rundown here in our race today. Greg Sachs, one of those who went into the hospital. Mike Wallace finishes in 36th position. Here's Dr. Punch.
We're at the Infield Care Center. We might mention 3 drivers are behind me in the Care Center. Now, we'll give you some updates here. Greg Sachs, Jeff Hammond, his crew chief just leaving. We are told that Sachs is okay. He was overcome by fumes and heat. He says to tell Vicki, his wife, at home, he is okay. He'll be home tonight. Everything is fine. Kyle Petty was taken in by stretcher with 1 lap to go. I'm with Barry Dodson. And Barry, how is Kyle?
He's pretty weak right now. He pretty much passed out in the car, and I tried to get him out. And then once we got to where we couldn't lose any more places on the racetrack, I made him come in and park it and get out. And he feels bad. You know, I talked to him a little bit. He's weak. He said he's shivering. He feels bad for us. And I told him, you know, we had a car that could win the race here 2 weeks in a row. And that's not important. I mean, that's just a car, and that's just another race. And we're talking about people here, and we're concerned about him. We want him to get back healthy. He did a heck of a job. He drove to 3rd under the green. We felt like I say, we had a car that could win again, and that doesn't matter. We'll get over that. As long as they keep having these races, we're going to be fine, and that's the same car we'll take to Martinsville.
Kyle Petty getting some fluids behind me. I also need to mention that after the race, Jeff Burton was taken in behind me. He was overcome with fumes and carbon monoxide. He is getting some oxygen behind me inside. Will be released very, very shortly. We are told that all 3 drivers, as we see Ward Burton coming out, going in to check on his brother, all 3 drivers there appear to be okay, Bob.
Hot day in North Wilkesboro has put some drivers in the Medical Care Center. The quest for the Cup standings, once again, the top 10. Jeff Gordon has moved to 3rd. Mark Martin back to 4th. Terry Labonte stays the same. Rusty Wallace moves up 3 to 6th place. Ted Musgrave up 1. Jarrett down 1. Grissom up 4. And Cope down 4. There are your top 10 as we head into the final short track race of the first half of the season. That will be at Martinsville, Virginia, the Haynes 500, 2 weeks from today at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday, April 23rd. Jeff Gordon and other members of the Hendricks Racing team will be up on Shop Talk coming up next here on ESPN. My thanks to Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, John Kernan, and Dr. Jerry Punch. And we thank you for joining us here at North Wilkesboro, where the First Union 400 has been won by Dale Earnhardt. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanksgiving, a happy Easter. A week from today, we will see you in 2 weeks at Martinsville. For now, this is Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.